complete system checkup, and change your filters too. You can even book online or call 704-487-7877. Ask for the $69 Spring Tax Relief Special. Shelby Heating and Air, 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Start your engines.
We're back at COTA.
Here comes Austin Cindric. Down the hill, 80 feet, side by side, deeper in the field. How are you going to break for turn 11?
Logano's going to look to the inside of Michael McDowell, coming down into turn number 7. Both drivers hard on the brakes, but McDowell turns right across his nose.
It's the Echo Park, Texas Grand Prix. Sunday, March 27th at 2:30.
Sunday afternoon at 2:30 on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
At Coyote Tractor, we hold dirt in the highest regard. That's why we're digging up some of our best deals so you can get out there and plan it. We've got cash back and 0% financing offers available on 22 to 110 horsepower tractors, utility vehicles, and zero-turn mowers. Coyote, we dig dirt. Offer cannot be combined. Financing subject to credit approval. Some restrictions apply. See your authorized Coyote Tractor dealer for details.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, 27 West intersection in Vail.
What's the best way to explain the golf at Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden? It's world-class golf for the working class. Yes, golf is never better than it is at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden, with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors, plus a driving range, banquet facilities, and a swimming pool, picnic area, and more. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. The Glen Oaks Golf Course, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden. It's world class for the working class.
The Cherryville Golf and Country Club is now having a new membership drive. That's right. If you're not a member, now is the time. It is a 9-hole course that will be expanding to an 18-hole in the near future. Every Friday night, the restaurant, it will be serving the best steaks in town, along with ribs and seafood. And the best thing about the restaurant, it is open to the public. Looking to have a wedding reception, the birthday party, corporate event, Cherville Banquet Room is the best place. Ask Dan about their golf package fundraiser deal. Check their menu out on Facebook. Cherryville Golf and Country Club, 200 Club Drive, Cherryville. Call 704-435-6597.
It's time to come out and play at the newly renovated Lincoln Country Club. Since 1946, the Lincoln Country Club has been challenging golfers. Ask about special membership opportunities, enjoy the new swimming pool, and the restaurant just can't be beat. Practice your drive and know the driving range too. For your tee time, call 704-735-1382 for the Lincoln Country Club, 2052 Country Club Road in Lincoln, and online at lincolncountryclub.net.
And good morning, and welcome to another Saturday Morning Sports Talk with KZTNT. decided to just use abbreviations this morning. That'd be a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
And also want to remind our listeners that Saturday Morning Sports Talk is brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877 for your heating and air needs. Need a little heat this morning, didn't you, Terry?
Needed a little bit.
I'm telling you, in March in North Carolina, you will need your heat or air conditioning, depending on what day it is. If either is not functioning properly, give Shelby Heating and Air a call, 704-487-7877. They do maintenance, they do repairs, they do installation. They've got some offers online. They've got some coupons, so check them out. One more time at 704-487-7877, Shelby Heating and Air, or I believe it's shelbyheating.com.
Yes, shelbyheating.com. Owned and operated, family owned since 1977. So, they've been around, Tom. So a lot of folks depend on them and like to use their services. So check them out. Online, they've got all kinds of things online, folks. Get there. You can find probably anything and everything you need to know about them. Like Tom said, they've got special offers and all the information you need. Good morning, JP. How was your week?
It was good, long, but I mean, what week isn't long?
Any special movies this week for you?
No, not yet. No, they haven't done anything too major in the theaters.
Tom, good sign is it looks like the Browns are going to kill the Dolphins this year. I wish I had the camera on the dog in the house tonight.
The dog is
she's destroying a stuffed dolphin.
She's
right
finally
now.
got herself occupied.
So Dobermans like different textures, and they'll fight over the same thing. So you can throw them all kinds of different chew things and whatnot. I can check on all that. We'll see, but let's. Hold on. Is that online, Tom, or radio? I'll go check out. But anyway, good morning. What did everybody have for breakfast this morning from Mitchum's Kitchen?
Bacon, egg, and cheese on toast. I had some liver mush and bologna on a bun with some mayonnaise. It was pretty thick. It was good too.
It did look good. I might get that next week, Terry, because I'm an aficionado of thick smoked fried bologna.
Tom, you're not even going to be here next week.
That's right.
Yeah, no wonder you're going to get it.
I might get it 2 weeks from now. Yes, unfortunately, I will be in the gateway city of St. Louis trying to find my way to Springfield, Illinois next week, which is this one of those towns you can't get to. So I know I'm going to have to go without my Mitchum's Kitchen next week. That's going to be awful. But today I had a bacon, egg, and cheese on toast as I usually do. But next time I'm here, Terry, I was coveting your bologna there.
Yeah, it was good.
So I was extremely jealous. So I may get that next week.
Yeah, I love my bologna in the mornings.
It's even chosen by JP.
See?
It's a favorite, and and JP is an aficionado of food. So JP likes it.
If you need something, call 704-276-1155. If you want to call it in, they'll have it ready when you get there. Or if you want to stop by, intersection of 27 and 274, you're not going to lose.
Yeah.
Whether it's breakfast, dinner, or lunch.
And you could sit down. You can sit down if you want, or pick it up and take it with you. So it's one of those places they'll take care of you.
When they had the Faith Fair uptown in Cherryville, we had our booth up there, and we was giving away. We called them Cherryville ribeyes. And it was bologna sandwiches.
Well, that's
Cherryville ribeye.
I tell you, there's a couple people in the church. It was like you said. Connoisseurs, aficionados, they said that they like to take the thick bologna like that, lather it in barbecue sauce, and then smoke it. They say when you do that, it caramelizes on the outside. So.
Right.
Well, Kevin, I was looking over my bracket.
You didn't do a bracket, Terry.
And I'm still looking over this bracket.
You didn't do a bracket.
And I'm looking, and somehow or another, I know we still got games like the Elite Eight are still here. And I'm still hunting a Big Ten team. Have you found one on yours? I cannot find one on mine.
I've been dreading this show all week. I started to call in sick. I would have called in sick if I was going to be out next week too, and then I'd be
excuse me, guys.
I'd be put in hunter territory, so I didn't want to do that.
Should have put my
Tom, can I go over the final
stats? The Big Ten let me down. There's nothing else to say.
Do you know how this works?
They let me down. I don't know how anything
Okay, this is
works.
how this works.
That's why I work here.
Last time, the ACC had 9 teams in it, and they did not do good. They at least had a team make the Elite Eight, but they didn't win it or anything like that. The very next year is when we started our downfall. And this is what's going to happen to the Big Ten. I don't mean that in a bad way,
Terry,
but it's going to happen. You
Terry,
had 9 teams. You didn't even have one team make the Elite Eight. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So next year, when they come out with these 9 teams that you think you might have, watch it. Next year, the Big Ten will only have 6, maybe 7, but there'll never, ever be a number of 9 teams out of that conference.
St. Peter's doesn't even have a 105-year-old nun out there praying for them, and they're still in the Elite Eight.
Well, they said that she was transferring.
Transferring.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. She is transferring to St. Peter's today.
So Purdue, but I mean that St. Peter's Purdue game was close throughout, from what I understand.
Yeah, it was.
But at least if she transfers, she don't have to sit out a year, right?
That's it. She's good to go. Right?
Okay, she's eligible right off the bat. It's
But
a good
anyway,
thing.
finishing up our conversation here, the Big Ten ends up 9-9, 50%.
They had a poor showing. It's just really hard.
You know what the ACC is right now?
What is the ACC?
11-2.
Yeah, they've done well.
Even if these 3 teams lose, Tom, we'll never have a bad record like y'all have.
You know, it's most of my friends are Southern people, so I have to listen to their crap at ACC basketball and SEC football. I mean, they swap conferences. I will say that. The same people pumping up ACC basketball pump up SEC football. You really can't do that. I mean, you're either an ACC man or an SEC man. You do the same thing, Terry. But I just what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say?
Nothing.
We laid an egg. You laid an egg, and it's tournament basketball, Terry. It's tournament basketball.
You just sit
You
there
know what tournament
and
basketball
take
is?
the abuse,
Look,
Tom.
Yeah.
Take the abuse.
Well, the thing is, tournament basketball. Virginia Tech, your tournament champion, who blew out Carolina,
We keep talking about
and
Virginia
beat
Tech.
Duke and lost in the first round.
We keep talking about
I'm
Virginia
just saying,
Tech.
Terry,
I thought it was Elite Eight day.
I'm just saying. He doesn't even watch the games. What is he over here interjecting himself?
He did watch last night, I think.
He don't even fill out a bracket, watch games.
I watched my first game last night.
He watched.
I didn't have nothing to do last night from Friday night from 10 to midnight.
Let me tell you something.
So I watched my first game last night.
Boss. I call my daughter. I'm listening to her on the radio. I'm like, hey, Annie, having a good time over there with Calvin? I said, yeah, we're having a good time and all this stuff. She goes, you know, Kevin didn't do a bracket? And I was like,
yeah, we talked about that.
He goes, he's the host of a sports show. I said, I know, honey. That's kind of like doing an American history class. Did you talk about George Washington? Nah.
Well,
there's other stuff to talk about.
Has anyone wondered what John McEnroe's bracket looked like?
Yeah, I know. Think about it, Tom.
You do a comprehensive sports show every Saturday religiously. He would do it on Christmas Day if we would show up.
You need someone.
He would work. He would do the show on Christmas Day, and he doesn't do a
You need someone to run all the computers.
I don't want
run all the radio, run all your highlights and everything.
Yeah, his name is JP, and he's in there playing a game right now.
Yeah,
and then I go to you guys for the
Actually,
analysis.
I'm reading a book.
He's reading a book.
Let me ask
Nobody
something, Tom.
goes. Oh, nobody goes to Bryant Gumbel for the analysis.
Well, see, Tom don't understand. He's over here keeps talking about Virginia Tech. Well, Tom, I don't see y'all's league champion in the final Elite Eight. I don't see your tournament champion in the final Elite Eight.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just telling you how tournament basketball works. If you get hot in a tournament, you do well. I mean, it's just tournament basketball.
The whole conference, Terry.
Yeah,
the whole conference.
All 9 of them. All 9 of them.
We had 2 in the Sweet
Y'all
16.
had 13% of the bracket was Big Ten, and you failed.
They did. I mean, that's just the fact.
If y'all were taking a test, Tom, well, over at Burns, you'd probably make, I don't know, they'd probably give you a couple of bonuses over at Burns.
Don't even talk about Burns, West Lincoln. Don't even talk. Sorry.
But you got
don't talk about Burns, buddy. I mean, if you taught at Providence Day, okay. You teach at West Lincoln. I think it's a similar situation. So go ahead.
Yeah. Even on the new grading system, they're still 500. 50%.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like today, because I'll never
That's all you have
forget.
to
I'll never
do.
forget when they changed the grading system. My daughter come home and she had a 60-something. I was like, "You failed." She said, "No, I didn't, Daddy. That's not fail." And I said, "What?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. You failed."
Well, you know the new is you get half for not show. So the Big Ten should have just not even showed up, and they would have
got the same grade.
That's the new way to do it.
Kevin didn't watch his first game last night because I came in and was talking about how Caleb Love was just firing shots from at will.
He lit it up, guys. The second half.
Terry, I'm gonna.
I
don't know if I want to call it lit up.
He had 27 points.
You're right.
He was on fire, but my goodness, his shot selection.
That don't mean a thing.
20%.
Did it go in?
It did, because I was going, "Oh God, please go in." Tommy shot. I'm like, "Oh God!"
Yeah, one time he
crossed
pulled
half
from about
court.
35.
He was 2 feet in front of half court. And he fired it up. I'm going, "Oh my
But
goodness!"
now, do you think about how big the basket was for him? I've been on the court, and I thought it was that big. Just shoot it, and it'll go in.
That's who they thought they drafted. Or, well, that's who they thought they recruited.
Yeah.
Excuse me, wrong word. But that's who they thought they recruited. That's the best game he's.
That's who they thought they paid.
Yeah, that's the best game he's
they
played.
paid him. It just hasn't been proven yet.
Yeah, he was. Now as long as he don't go out next game and think he's Steph Curry, we'll be okay. But if he does, we're gonna get beat by 30.
You know he is. So all right, two comments on that or that. So that his shot, the Tar Heels shot selection. I see why Roy wanted to retire because, oh my gosh, it made me pull my hair out almost. It was awful. They pulled the quickest, earliest three they could, and it went in. Some went in, some made it, some didn't. But by God, if some of those ones didn't go in, any of those ones didn't go in, they don't win. And so I don't know if they can keep trying to win like that. They don't
usually play like that though. That was a little odd second half last night. Usually they're a little bit more buttoned up.
That was the shot. Let me put it this way:
shot selection a lot better.
Shot selection was terrible.
Usually Manick's a little bit
awful.
Harder than he was. Manick was a little bit off last night.
Speaking of Teen Wolf, he couldn't guard anybody in this room. Everyone who got a ball near Teen Wolf scored.
He was off
every
night.
time.
You
wasn't even close.
You missed his dunk though.
He had a nice dunk and screen time. He might have got a Slim Jim commercial out of that one.
That was a pretty good dunk. That's a pretty good dunk. Did you see it, Terry?
He could be. You know what? He could. He could. No, it's the
other turkey.
It's the other beef jerky. He could be a good mascot for the beef jerky.
Yeah, man.
Did y'all
say? But again, and when I say Terry, I think I could score on him. I don't mean when I was 18. I think I can score on him now. His feet are cement.
He's slow-footed.
It's awful. When you take one move, boom, you can score on him.
Did y'all see the post game?
No.
Hubert Davis?
No.
He went off. This guy gets up there and asks him something about Wake Forest back in early January into December, whatever they played. Oh, he just shook his head and he goes, "What? My team's won 9 out of 10, 15 out of their last 18, and we want to go talk about Wake Forest?" I mean, he was going off. I said, "I hear you, Hubert."
What was the question about Wake Forest?
It went back to how his team had changed from when they played Wake Forest back then, and he didn't even want to hear that.
Okay.
He says, "Why don't y'all be asking me, hey, your team's won 9 out of 10. Your team's won 15 out of the last 18.
Hubert should have said
if he would have been probably trying.
If he would have been Terry Reinhardt, Hubert would have said, "Well, we should have had them in the tournament, not another one of the
Big Ten."
I was going to say, if Terry asked him a question, if you were in the Big Ten, would you have been the champion? You would have been the champions of the Big Ten. That's what he would have said.
But on the other end, if we watch the other tournament that is going on, I did see where they met too early. Texas A&M played Wake Forest in the NIT, and I know in that tournament, Texas A&M beat them like a drum. But I know on the teams that should have been in, Texas A&M was number 1. They should have got in, but they drubbled Wake Forest by 20-something.
How do you drubble somebody? What's the meaning of the word?
They rolled.
You meant drubbed, Terry.
Troubled.
Not drubbled.
Troubled.
Drubbed.
Yeah.
Drubbled might be not as bad as drubbing.
You know why I know the word drubbed? That's my head baseball coach at Shelby. Chris Emery. That's his favorite word. Drubbed. You got drubbed.
You didn't come here for my college or Terry's English analysis.
That's exactly right, Tom.
Well, I'm just going to say that if you're going to massacre the English language,
Last week he had a good one too. That was bad.
Yeah, he's good for one of those every week. He's kind of like, remember when George Bush used to do that? He used to invent his own words. That's Terry. He just dribbled. You got dribbled.
Somewhere along this line, somebody says, I'm using that next week.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere.
See,
You got
that's what I was
dribbled.
saying.
You got dribbled.
Well, as far as watching the game, like I said, I thought that the town girl, the shot selection was awful. I don't know if they plan on doing that against. They might be able to do it against St. Peter's and get away from it. You know, we'll see how that goes.
Somebody has to step up.
I'm going to buy a St. Peter's shirt if
I'm
they beat Carolina.
If St. Peter's would win the next one, I know that would destroy Zach and all the Tar Heel fans.
So here's my question. I do got a question. I've been thinking about this. This is the big question. Last night, watching that game, I couldn't help but think, would you, as a Tar Heel fan, I'll let see what Terry says first. And I know you're not a Tar Heel fan.
No, I'm not.
Would you rather lose to UCLA, St. Peter's, or Duke?
Would you rather?
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. Carolina is 11-3 against UCLA, so you figure they should win that one. I guess you'd rather lose to St. Peter's than Duke.
No, I'm saying I personally, I was sitting there thinking,
would rather look
what's coming ahead.
You'd rather lose to UCLA because you're going to get ridiculed if you lose to St. Peter's, and you're going to get ridiculed if you lose to Duke.
I don't think that's going to happen.
These next two games, they have more pressure on them than they've had all year.
Yeah,
the whole world is pulling for St. Peter's, then they'll turn around. Carolina, it'll be the biggest Coach K love fest, whistle fest you've ever seen in your life. In the Final Four, they'll talk about it forever. Roy Williams is sitting over there, and he can't even coach in it in the first Carolina-Duke matchup. But that's what I was just thinking last night.
Think of that.
Would you rather go home this year if you lost last night? Hey, we lost. We beat Coach K in his last game. We got this far. Good season. Lost to a good UCLA team. La-di-da. Now we lose. Ha-ha, you lost St. Peter's.
I don't think that's really going to be a thing. Because, I think if you lose to St. Peter's, the first thing they're going to say, the shoe still fits. Because they beat Kentucky. Now, Murray State wasn't a big deal to me. But then you turn around and beat Purdue, and then you could beat Carolina. Think of that. I mean, Cinderella would be still living for sure if that's happening.
I'd rather lose St. Peter's than I would to Duke.
Oh, I know you would there.
Yeah, because that's the final. That's the final game ever.
Now wait a minute, Tom,
with Coach K. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
That Terry said it was the worst thing ever if Carolina lost the game before Duke. Now, if they lost a game before Duke to a St. Peter's, is that not worse than what happened in the ACC then?
It would be the same thing I said then. You didn't want to play Duke.
But
Duke
has to win.
That's what I'm saying. No matter what,
has to win.
These next two games, total pressure on the Tar Heels.
The big boys on CBS, Barkley and them, said St. Peter's has arguably the best guards in the country. That's what they said. And they were a 15 seed.
Yeah, they're 22-11. I want to go back and see their record of who they lost to.
They lost to Iona twice. They lost to nobodies. The whole
think of it.
I looked at it. I guess what they do win their tournament. I looked at it last night. I can't remember exactly.
22-11.
Yeah,
they entered.
So Terry, out of the 8 teams in the Elite Eight, how many are from the ACC?
3. Tom, 3 out of 8. I want you to
know
that Tom.
They're doing well.
They're
doing well.
Terry, it's not even Tom. At least Tom was brainwashed by the people on television telling him all year, just like everyone else.
Big Ten.
Last week, 2 weeks ago, when we argued about whether Wake Forest should get in, I got a message from a friend. Ha, you're silly. The ACC's terrible. They don't belong in.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's what I'm saying. Everybody that watches TV is brainwashed, but in some way or another, whatever they're watching, and people that watch the sports have been told all year, the Big Ten's good. Indiana, like you said, Terry, what are they, 4-10?
4-12.
Something in the last 15 or something? Just awful. They're in the tournament. My thing is, once you let more than 5-6 teams from a conference, you're getting teams that don't deserve or don't belong. Whether or not they're better. See, that's the whole college argument. Is this team better
on paper
than this team?
Yeah.
As opposed to, do they deserve to be? That's my thing with the football. The problem. The old school people will be like, I always say, well, Alabama should be in the championship or Final Four because they're always as good as everyone else. But do they deserve to be? And that's my issue: is do they deserve to be?
I want to tell you something. When
Leah
they
Thomas
come out,
can swim as good as everybody else in her division, but does she deserve to be?
When they come out with this list, And it says, and then you wonder why they say the ACC and they don't want the ACC in there, and it keeps getting less. All right, 11 national championships. Well, okay, we still got to get there yet. We haven't got that. But you've already added to this at least one Sweet 16 participant in 37 straight tournaments. Multiple Sweet 16 teams in 32 of the 37 tournaments. At least one Elite 8 team in 33 of the 37 tournaments. The next thing for the ACC to accomplish is at least one Final Four team in 24 of the last 36. They could make it 25 out of 37 if they accomplish that today or tomorrow. And at least one team in the title game. That could be 18 out of 37. So the ACC has 3 things to accomplish out of this 6. And this is how come when you go to basketball, I don't care what the SEC has. I don't care what the Big Ten has. It's the ACC, and everybody else is behind us, always, and will always be behind us.
It's just amazing to me seeing a team like Carolina who doesn't have 10 losses not being even ranked. Like in the past, we got I just
think that had a lot to do with how bad they got beat.
If Carolina in the past had 5 or less losses, they're top 10 team.
Oh, yeah.
If they got 10 or less losses, they're top 20. And then when they got to 10, most times they would unrank them because they would be the 8th or 9th in the conference and they're out. But now they're, 3rd or 4th, and they had them unranked?
Yeah.
They only had one team in the ACC ranked?
Yeah.
Think about that. Well, the whole year we talked about how terrible people got paid. You know how much money Stephen A. Smith and them make? You get paid millions of dollars to get on TV and say how bad the ACC is and how great the Big Ten is, and now you got 3 of them without even knowing it. 3 of the 8 and none of the other one. It's insane that they let these people do this and make this money off all that money acting like experts, and none of them are experts at anything. Jeez, that's the whole problem. Well, I think this team's better. Well, none of you thought St. Peter's was better, so that's what you got. Miami, Terry. We're going to take a break and break down these last 4 games, and we'll go Miami and Kansas. We'll talk Villanova, Houston, Arkansas, and Duke, and a little bit more about whether Tom and his Catholic friends can outpray the Tar Heels. We'll be back in a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Family owned and operated, proudly serving Shelby and the surrounding area with the finest in heating and cooling for your home or business. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, and right now they have an exclusive spring special on Carrier, Goodman, and Mitsubishi systems. Get exclusive Shelby Heating and Air discounts of up to $750. Yes, discounts on quality heating and cooling systems of up to $750. Online at ShelbyHeating.com, see their page at WhatsUpShopper.com, and like them on Facebook too. Located at 1990 Eves Road in Shelby.
We're back at Coda.
They go down the hill, and now they'll bend into turn 2. Slight advantage for Ross Chastain. Now here comes Kyle Busch.
It's the Pit Boss 250.
Allmendinger right up under the rear deck lid as they head down the long straightaway towards 12. Here comes Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch gets to the bumper of Allgaier. They'll go nose to tail into number 15 here. Charging hard. He is now looking to the inside.
Saturday, March 26th at 4 p.m.
Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Trusted, tried, and true. Those 3 words represent the highest standards for the Kawasaki Mule side-by-sides. Trusted means being built strong and built to last. Tried means being put to the test by hardworking people doing the toughest jobs. And true means staying authentic to the roots that run 30 years deep. Kawasaki Mule, the definition of trusted, tried, and true. See the Kawasaki Mule at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 101 Indian Walk in Lowell.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services. On WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, it's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
And we're back on Saturday morning Sports Talk with Kevin, Zach, Tom, and Terry.
JP.
Yes.
You got to do a better job of ad-libbing. Like, tell a story about Batman or something until we get back. Shelby Heating and Air, Tom,
Batman
right?
Shelby Heating and Air, bringing the Saturday morning Sports Talk, 704-487-7877. Call them for your heating and air needs. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com. You need repairs, you need service, you need a new system, you need some new ductwork. Call them. 704-487-7877. Once again, that's Shelby Heating and Air.
All right, back to the tournament where we were just a few moments ago. We'll start with, I was wanting to start there with Miami and Kansas. Zach, what was you were saying something about Kansas a minute ago, right?
They've played really well through. They're the only one seed that's played, well through the whole tournament. So, Terry,
can Miami Hurricanes beat the Jayhawks here?
Well, we've always said, what about Miami? And didn't they beat Duke? They beat Carolina, and now here you are. I mean,
they got a 10 seed. Is that a bad seed in there too?
Well, yeah.
I think.
I mean, a lot of the ACC got ripped this year.
This is the first time that they've made it to the Elite Eight. Also, Miami.
I
First
just
time
think
in
the
history.
ACC is just out to prove something. Like y'all are wrong. We got no credit all year long.
Did they get Rodney Dangerfield?
Could be.
Is that what
Could
happened
easily
here?
be.
Is that an old reference for our folks back at home?
But I watched
they don't
Miami.
know Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, I know Rodney Dangerfield. But Miami played Iowa State last night, and thoroughly, Iowa State would make a run, and then Miami would be a power run of their own. The problem is, somebody name me 5 starters off that team, or 4 or 3 starters besides one. Everybody remembers one because his whole name's different.
I know.
But as far as the rest of them, they just play together.
Here's the college basketball players I know. Let's see, R.J. Davis, and I do not know if he's kin to Hubert or not. I know. What's the other one? Puff Johnson. They say it's called Cocoa Puffs.
You talking about Cam's brother?
Yeah, I believe that one.
He looks just like him, does he not?
When it turns purple.
He comes off the bench, and I'm like, it
smells
looks like
rainbow
Cam
sherbet.
Johnson.
He's not named Puff for Cocoa Puffs, I'll tell you that. Then I know Baycock. I know the Banchero. I know that name from Duke. And I know Teen Wolf. And that's it. Yeah, I do know there's 3 ACC teams in the Elite Eight after not being
Keels?
ranked. Who?
Keels?
Never heard that name in my life.
Okay, he pretty much helps Duke a lot.
Oh, for Duke?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely don't know any Duke players.
Well, and then they got a guy with the last name
Besides the
Roach.
Banchero.
Do you know how rough
Roach.
his school days had to be if his name was Roach?
Yeah. Think of it. But he played well. He hit some shots down the stretch.
He did hit some shots.
He did. It's somebody else stepping up, and that's what you got to have.
All right, Houston and Villanova. The other side, that's who Miami, Kansas would play. Thoughts on that one, Tom? The Cougars and these are a matchup from the 80s powerhouses.
Villanova's
been good last few years.
Villanova seems just to play with Jay Wright at the he's a good tournament coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Villanova's chances in that game. Even though did they win their I can't remember whether they won their tournament. It seemed like I was watching their conference tournament, and they had
not sure on that.
Can't remember if they watched a little bit of it, but through the years here in recent years, Villanova has been very good in the tournament, like Duke. Tournament. Like we brought up a few weeks ago, how Coach K hasn't won the regular season ACC in a long time, right? But in the tournament, they're a good tournament team. So
well, Hakeem Olajuwon was at the Houston game the other night.
Was he?
Made a cameo.
He's awesome.
He is a good guy.
Yeah. Probably one of my favorite centers all time.
Right. Probably the most underrated, maybe. he's the one that I would have. I could play against anybody you picked. Whatever center you picked, I could pick Hakeem Olajuwon.
He destroyed Shaq
and be okay with it. There's other guys you could do different things to, but he's the one you can't do anything
I don't
with.
tell you something. He's not that good, guys.
Oh Lord,
he's not good at all. All I remember was Cozell McQueen dominated him in the tournament. 1983 NCAA champion Cozell McQueen, the center from North Carolina State, said, "Hakeem, come here, buddy. I got your daddy."
So he just said Hakeem Olajuwon was not good. Did I hear that? Did I hear Hakeem Olajuwon was not good?
I'm just saying.
I mean, how ridiculous is this
So
going to be?
Like the McQueen.
All I know, well, at the end of that game, Cozell McQueen is sitting on the rim above the thing on top of the board saying, "We are the champions."
You're right, Terry.
So what's that got to do with him?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Yeah. If you can't
So
beat Cozell McQueen,
did he play in the NBA?
Who?
Cozell McQueen.
Probably not.
What do you mean? You don't even know if he played in the NBA.
He don't know the Celtics coach, Tom.
Terry. I think Hakeem.
I'm sorry for making a comment about Hakeem and getting him distracted.
I'm sorry. I made Hakeem.
I think Hakeem Olajuwon had a decent pro career. Decent.
Did they win a national championship, Terry?
Who?
Houston.
No.
Hakeem and Clyde didn't win a national championship.
They made the Final Four twice.
Yeah.
Who beat them? Ewing.
Yep. Georgetown.
Yeah, Georgetown 1 year and
I
Georgetown.
know one of those.
But they had a
got
good
one.
center.
So if they didn't,
Patrick Ewing.
You know who I'm blaming for that loss then? The loser before the LeBron got in the league, Clyde Drexler.
What?
It's his.
See,
fault.
there's another one.
He was
Clyde Drexler was part of that team.
And that's what I'm saying.
Young
it was always
was
his
part
fault.
of that team.
He was shooting.
I mean, we start naming players.
God, they had a nickname for. What was the nickname for that team?
Yeah,
that's what it was. That's what it was. I forgot.
And State had more dunks than they had in the championship game.
One dunk, just somebody lost the basketball.
That's all I got to say.
Landed right in the guy's hand and he dunked
McQueen said, "Hakeem, you're not good."
Okay.
So
Cozell McQueen has gotten way too much press today.
So I guess tomorrow. I guess also. Let's see. Today, Coach K at 8:49 tonight will be. It's not. He's not. Now update me on the college basketball. He's not facing off against Nolan Richardson, is he?
No.
I knew that. I'm just messing. Who is the coach for Arkansas? I do not know that. Do any of y'all know?
I don't know.
Whoa.
Duke 31-6 against Arkansas 28-8 tonight.
Cozell McQueen actually does have his own Wikipedia page. He was 6'11".
Yeah, he was.
He's from Bennettsville, South Carolina.
He kind of dominated.
He was selected in the 4th round of the. That's how long ago it was. They had a 4th round of the NBA draft, and he did play for the Wisconsin Flyers, the Kansas City Sizzlers, the Lacrosse Catbirds. Actually, did make an appearance for the Pistons.
So
then
he had an NBA career.
Played in Napoli.
There you go.
Milano, Zaragoza, Venice, and then he played for the Rochester Renegade.
He's a high traveler.
And he played for the Carolina Cardinals. That is Cozell McQueen's professional career, Kevin.
Right.
Domination.
He did. And
Cozell McQueen. Cozell McQueen.
Tommy, just also for your learning, because you like to learn. You want to learn a little bit more about Cozell McQueen's domination of Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yeah, let's see it.
In the championship game, Cozell McQueen had 4 points.
It was his defense. Yeah,
he gave up 20 to Olajuwon.
Yeah, 20. See, that's what got him beat. He only had 20.
He hacked him 4 times.
Terry, I told you the reason they got beat. I said it out loud, and I didn't even have to look at the box score.
Buddy had 12 rebounds.
Look at Clyde Drexler, how many points he got.
Yeah, that's on account of
Look
defense.
at Clyde Drexler.
What did he score, 10?
4.
Oh, that's horrible.
Scrape him off the floor. No, I'm not going to hate
of,
on Clyde today.
That's on account of he was matched up against Derek Whittenberg.
Can't hate on Clyde today. You have to give him a pass.
You know, Wittenberg was pretty good. I'll give you that. Wittenberg is definitely better to bring up than Cozell McQueen.
Now, Cozell McQueen had 12 rebounds in that game, Terry.
Who was your MVP of that game?
It wasn't Cozell McQueen.
No, it wasn't Cozell.
Probably Sidney Lowe.
It was Sidney Lowe.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, Thurl Bailey had a pretty decent
Thurl Bailey
NBA
was
career
always
as well.
Wittenberg, I think he's the one that caught the air ball that Sidney Lowe throwed up, right?
No, that's Lorenzo Charles.
That was a
Wittenberg shot it, didn't he?
That was a year. That was a year.
Wittenberg shot it.
Yeah,
Wittenberg shot it. Okay,
dunked it. But Lorenzo's no longer here. He died in a wreck over there.
He had
Raleigh.
4 points in that championship game. Only 2 mattered, didn't it, Terry?
Yeah, but you know what amazes me when you look at that, because the very next year, you're talking about 4 points. What kind of amazes you of Anthony Davis, because the very next year he come back to state, couldn't nobody stop him.
Well,
he was so big underneath, he was averaging probably 20 points a game.
Why did Clyde Drexler only take 5 shots?
Coach defense on him.
Said he had 4 fouls. Was he? Did he not play?
Yeah, he was out early in the game. He had to go.
Hakeem had
y'all cheated.
Yeah,
Hakeem had 20 points, 18 rebounds, and 7 blocks.
Right,
he showed up.
Tom. Cozell McQueen held Hakeem to 20, 18, and 7.
But you notice,
but he's not good.
He's not good.
He's probably good.
We're gonna give him 7 blocks, but how many of those were goaltenders? Remember
He's
Patrick
average.
Ewing?
Tell you, there's their official blocks, not goaltends.
Patrick Ewing had blocks, but
They
some of
didn't count
them
as
were,
blocks.
Come on.
Oh,
yeah, come on.
Back in those days, they probably counted them as a block.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Just the domination of Cozell McQueen. I did not know he was getting there tonight. I thought Cozell was spelled with a K. But anyway, speaking of K's, are we going to have a Duke Carolina Final Four? Let's pick our Final Fours. Let's do our picks before this weekend. It's the only thing we've had to be able to do picks with. We'll start with Houston and Villanova. Terry, I'll let you start this one. Who you got?
Coach Wright and Villanova will take out Houston.
Tommy.
I think there's more Italians in Philadelphia than there are Houston. So I'll go with Villanova.
Zachary.
I'm going to go with Houston for the upset.
I'll go with Nova. They've been pretty reliable in the tournament as of the past few years.
So y'all going with the American Conference?
I have no idea what conference.
Zach.
Or Zach
going
did.
with?
Yeah.
Houston.
That's where they're at.
We knew Terry wasn't going to pick Houston, so
that's right.
without even asking questions.
That's exactly right.
He's so predictable. Just write it in. I know who he's probably going to. You want me to write in the ACC teams in these next 3, Terry, and just skip you?
Why no? No, I need to make my pick.
All right. Zach, I'll let you start. Kansas and Miami. Do we get the Hurricanes?
No, Hurricanes
blow
run
the
out.
Jayhawks to Oregon.
Hurricanes run out. Get beat by Kansas.
Tommy.
Kansas.
Terry.
Always like it what they said last week. The Cyclones against the Hurricanes in the Windy City. And the Hurricanes come out on top.
They're the Jayhawks.
So now, I know. So now you got the Jayhawks. Now, what is a Jayhawk? A bird? Is it right?
It's a bird that does not use a crosswalk properly.
I mean, think of it. You got a hurricane coming in. That bird's going to have to fly.
Jayhawks.
It might be out of range.
A Jayhawk's like
a
Hoosier. Nobody knows what it is. It's just there.
As of today,
a Jayhawk. What is that? Nobody knows what it is.
A lot of colleges have things that don't make any sense.
I'm going to say that the ACC will go down. Kansas will win.
Kansas.
Yeah, Bill Self. I mean, some people don't like how he coaches.
I remember when he was at Illinois.
Yeah. But there he is.
Well, all 3 of you going there. I'm going to stay on the ACC. Go Hurricanes.
I mean, I hope that happens. That'd be another little notch on my list for Tom.
They're not going to beat Kansas.
Kansas is pretty good. They are. But now, don't forget, Miami did beat Duke. They did beat Carolina.
Ohio State beat Duke, Terry.
What's Kansas' record this year?
Kansas is 31-6.
Oh, easily beatable. That's nothing. Go Hurricanes. Duke and Arkansas. Arkansas. In what part? Where you're from? Is that who start? Is that you haven't started one, or Tom hasn't started one?
Tom hasn't started.
Tom, I'll let you go first on this one. Duke and Arkansas.
Well, Belinda Minnick listens to this show sometimes, and she's one of my teacher buddies, and she's a big-time Razorback fan. So sentimentally, I want to pick Arkansas for her sake, and I hate Duke. But Coach K is good, and I'll give the devil his due, and he is the devil, that he's good in tournament basketball. So because I hate him so much, though, I'm picking against him today. I'm picking with my passion instead of my reason. Reason says Coach K is going to win this game, but passion says he loses. So, go with passion over reason. Isn't that a characteristic of man? He goes passion over reason.
Tom, but anyway.
Arkansas knocks out Duke, and I just want to see the look. I hope they freeze the camera on Krzyzewski's face when he loses. And I'm going to blow it up, make a fathead of it, and put it up in my classroom. Done.
I'm going to go next.
Done.
I'm going to say this. I have to give Tom the most hatred of Coach K without being a
Carolina fan.
ACC Carolina fan award.
What is the word I use to describe? Fraud. Back in the 90s.
He can be an honorary ACC lover then, because we'll give you an honorary degree.
Remember back in the 90s when all his kids graduated? Then they hung their hat on that. This is what it's about, right? This is what it's about. And now he's Mr. One and Done that's like doing one and dones at Harvard or Yale. It's a joke.
So
it's a joke.
I personally, I believe guys like him and the Calipari's of the world.
Calipari's another one that I put him in Krzyzewski territory.
I put them to where they thoroughly believe, no matter what they do behind the scenes, as long as they don't get caught,
they're fine.
And they help this young man improve his life in any way, they don't care.
It's not about his life; it's about their life.
But
that's
right,
bull
and
crap.
but what I mean by that is that to have them there, that's what I'm saying. That's what they convince themselves.
Right.
Of. That's not what I'm saying. I think that's what they do.
Right.
It's saying, listen, I've whatever we do, if we need to pay him this or whatever we do this and we all know, we sit there and watch it on TV and see the F-bombs flying all over the screen to everybody, and then now some of the Duke players coming out and saying it. So it's funny listening.
What makes me mad is this 6'11" guy with 5-star talent needs Coach K for 4 months to make it. Oh, he needs Coach K. Oh, or he's not going to make it. He's going to be working at McDonald's unless I come in. No, if you didn't help him, he'd go straight to the NBA and be fine. Look at LeBron James. Does LeBron James need Coach K? No. I mean, give me a break with these guys.
Now, I know I interrupted you, Tom, but I did ask you who was going to win about 3 minutes ago.
He said Arkansas.
I said Arkansas.
He took Arkansas. He's trying to please somebody.
Well, I'm trying to get some more listeners.
All right,
I mean, Terry, you're running them all off. So I'm trying to get some more.
I think I hope, like Tom, that Arkansas wins, but I think Coach K gives enough. I hate your stinking faces to the players, and maybe a couple.
Hate your effing faces,
and maybe he gives a couple to the referees to get some more of the coach cry calls.
They're getting those.
That Duke's going to win.
You can't spell Krzyzewski without the word cry, Tom.
Oh, he is a crybaby. Can't stand it. That's what I call him. That's my other name for him, Coach Crybaby.
I did laugh at him the other day because I don't know if you guys were watching the game, but his guy hit the referee and knocked him into the scoreboard. The player did, and Coach K gave a block into the referee. It was pretty funny.
Not. Are you okay? No. Not. Are you okay, man? It's kind of like.
I'd be like falling down the first base line in the rain, and the first base coach giving you the safe sign.
Yeah.
Or not clapping when you get up, Tom.
Or just K called a foul on him. So that'd be like the first base coach going,
"You're out,"
pumping you out.
That's class. That's what we're gonna call him, Coach Class. KLASS, Coach Class. He's
Terry,
all class.
You got pig suey, or you gonna give the devil his due on this one?
Well, it's one of those things that the Big Ten, they always told us they were number one.
Terry, the Big Ten. Are we done with this? Are we done with this, Terry?
Well, I'm just mentioning.
God Almighty.
But then now they say the SEC probably had the strongest conference when we finally got here. But, this is where the ACC, again, has to prove a point, and Coach K is going to win. He's going to knock the SEC completely out of it. and the ACC going to move on. So
I agree with Terry. I've got Duke. I believe Vegas and this is all have been set up. I want them in the same bracket, and now they got a chance to put them together. There's no way.
How's it all set up, Kevin?
I'm talking, sir.
Kevin.
Almighty. Yeah,
conspiracy.
Yeah, it all is. So now that they've got this far, there's no way tonight and tomorrow that Duke and Carolina are not going to be facing each other. There's too much money to be made.
Can you
too
imagine?
many commercials to sell. They'll have a whole week.
Vegas.
Week. It ain't even Vegas. It's ESPN and Fox. Think about how much money they're going to make on programming this week. Talking about Coach K.
All the little
and
bets
Carolina.
that's going to be made.
CBS has the tournament.
Raleigh.
Holy moly!
But okay, Tom. So Skip and Shannon aren't going to talk about the tournament this week.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
That's
You're
what
talking
I'm
about the talking heads.
Everybody
It's going to be the world.
is going to make so much money off Carolina and Duke being able to play each other in a Final Four game.
First time ever.
First time it's ever happened, which is always weird to me because they always purposely put them on the other side, so they play in the championship game. Which every other conference and everybody else got to play each other, and they're on sides of the brackets at some point. And that's what I was hoping for this year with Carolina getting an 8 seed and Duke getting a 2, that you could put them in the same bracket and they didn't face each other till the Elite 8. They didn't choose to do that. Carolina knocks off the 1 seed, so Tom, it wasn't fixed from the start, is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's fixed now.
Now that they've got to this point, there's no way, I'm telling you, Carolina is losing to St. Peter's if Duke wins tonight. No way, because they're going to play each other if that happens. It's all on Duke tonight. You can bet your house on that the Carolina game. Now, Caleb Love doesn't need to do what he. Golly.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with
on
you.
fire,
What
but
are we talking about?
I don't mind if he's open.
Oh.
But God, he be draped on people and he pulls it, and you're like, no. Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Well, I was thinking, do you not think the ACC, like last week when they played Baylor, how can you be a number 1 team and be down by 25?
And then
was
the
like,
Fix tried to come
Manic-
in and
Yeah, if Manic hadn't daggum been eliminated from the game and taken away, Carolina might have beat them by 30-something.
oh, they would have.
That
was an embarrassment of throwing him out. And the foul. I was
I don't know,
texting
man,
Kevin
can't
back
guard
for
anybody,
10 in a row.
Do what? Can you keep going? Yeah, yes.
10 fouls. What was it? We was texting back for 10 fouls in a row in that game.
Yes, 10 or 11 and
13 total.
But like after Manic come out, it was like,
That
what in the
one ref
world?
was going crazy, man.
I mean, he
was
didn't
like,
take the every time he breathed, it would blow
somebody
it.
else blow a whistle.
So we're gonna have a caller here in a second, apparently. Again, Tar Heels will play St. Peter's. Terry, who do you got in that game?
Oh, Carolina. I think St. Peter's. I mean, don't get me
Cinderella
wrong. Great
is
job.
over.
Metro Conference will be out of it. That's what I'm saying. Metro is in the final Elite 8, and I think they'll finally be done. I don't think Carolina's going to come out there and let this happen. I think Hubert Davis is a better coach. Don't get me wrong. Thank you, St. Peter's, for doing what you did to Purdue of the Big Ten, and Kentucky of the SEC.
God almighty. He's like the guy who dated a girl and then the girl gained 20 pounds.
No way.
And then he just keeps on. He keeps on with the fat jokes. That's what he's doing right there.
There's no way.
It's just.
He did not go to sleep last night.
But I tell you
He
what,
broke a prison shank today. He just keeps on digging it over there. On
He does. I'm going to tell you what, Terry. You better hope your ACC team win tonight because I'm
He's got a
calling
3
in.
and 4 chance.
I'm calling in from Illinois next week. If they, I'm telling you, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you next week. But I think that St. Peter's has really got some rosary beads going. I think their nuns at the school have got the rosary beads going. I think God. I think God loves St. Peter's. I think God does not love Carolina. I think St. Peter's
Carolina blue.
This is divine intervention. This is divine. There's always some Catholic school that somehow finds a way to get this far. So I think it's God's will. It's St. Peter's defeats Hubert Davis, and then I want to hear all the Carolina fans who've been bragging all week talk about how they want to fire Hubert Davis. Let's fire Hubert. Oh, he got beat by St. Peter's.
Listen,
We're going with St. Peter's and the Rosary Beads to defeat Carolina and make the Final Four. The first 15 seed to make the Final Four.
I got a feeling we're going to have a good bad pick segment next week. All right, we got a phone caller on the line. If JP hit the buttons right. Thomas Borgello, is that right on the line? Famous Duke Blue Devil fan, right, Thomas?
Be careful, Kevin. Hey, listen. So I called to kind of like give Tom a little backup, but he just, ruined that. But I'm gonna piggyback what Kevin said. I mean, if God wasn't a Tar Heel fan, the sky wouldn't be Carolina Blue.
That's a good point.
That.
That's a fair point, Thomas. I'll give you that. That's a fair point.
But here's why Tom hates Krzyzewski so much is that what you guys probably don't know is that Danny's girlfriend Carrie is a huge Tar Heel fan. Has almost converted Danny to be a Tar Heel.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be an interesting conversation around the Thanksgiving table if he didn't hate Krzyzewski. So that's that. And if I was wondering, Kevin, you're probably good on computers. Can you make a meme put on Peter's team riding on top of a pumpkin with like mice driving it? The Cinderella story is going to end tomorrow night. The clock's going to strike midnight on that stuff right there.
Thomas,
and,
Thomas, let me say something though. There's a member of this show that thinks Cinderella dies at midnight. Cinderella doesn't die. Okay, her coach turns back into a pumpkin. At least Thomas actually knows the story. Whereas Terry thinks Cinderella dies at midnight.
That's Snow White, Terry.
Because he said, he said earlier, struck midnight and she died. It's like, that's not the way Cinderella goes, Terry, but that's okay. I'm glad, Thomas, you actually understand the story about the slippers and the coach turning into a pumpkin and all that.
Yeah.
Whereas Terry thinks
I got a daughter. I got a daughter, man. I mean, she's 22 now. So what?
She's still she's still your princess.
Yeah, she's still. No doubt, dude. No doubt.
But don't.
Proudest
but the coach does not turn into a fireball at midnight, Terry. Just wanted to say it. Go ahead.
No,
Thomas. Go ahead, Thomas.
But I'm gonna tell you something. This is probably, and not probably. I could say with 100% certainty that this is the first time that I'm gonna hope Duke wins a basketball game because I want Hubert Davis, a Dean Smith disciple, to end Coach K's career because we'll meet him in the Final Four.
I just hope somebody. Just hope somebody ends Coach K's career. If he wins the national championship, I may never watch a college basketball game again because then I'm convinced it's fixed.
Oh yeah!
All right, get on the bandwagon now.
But how storybook would that be, though, dude? I mean, if it was the Dean disciple that did it.
Yeah. I like Coach Davis. I think he's doing a great job, and he had some big shoes to fill coming in here.
Speaking of doing a meme, if the Tar Heels do knock out Duke, we could get Coach K's face in a rat trap with Hubert setting it off.
There you go. That's even better. Listen, a buddy of mine called me this morning, who's a huge Tar Heel fan. He said a new quote. He said, "Philadelphia is no longer the city of brotherly love; it's the city of Caleb love."
Oh, Lord. Did he not play well in the second half last night?
He reminded me of Randolph Childress in about 1987 or 88 when he dropped 44 on us in the ACC championship. He was unconscious.
So you was watching the game last night. Me and Kevin made these comments, and I'm a huge Tar Heel fan. And he went down. He was jacking those shots up, and I'm going, please go in, because the shot selection was awful. The shot selection.
It was meant to be.
the basket was 45 foot wide for him.
All I got to do for all y'all Tar Heel fans, y'all remember what Banchero said. We want the Heels.
He might not want this team.
Yeah, he might not want them. I mean,
when we pull Teen Wolf out, he's going down.
I don't know.
Teen
Wolf's a little inconsistent, though.
He can't guard nobody, but he can shoot.
No, he's a little inconsistent.
Well, he's dealing with a bad back, baby. So you believe this? I got that. What we used to use when we were in school, atomic bomb. They're putting some of that on his back, working that out, and getting him loose for tomorrow. I promise you, they'll get him worked up.
Well, Thomas, I guess you got Duke, Carolina, you got Miami to win as well, and then also the other game you missed Houston Villanova here before you go.
Oh, you know what, man? I remember when Rolly Massimino ran Storm the Floor when they won, and I like Nova. I mean, I like.
Yeah, I think
Miami.
Oh, there he is. Okay, all right. Well,
I don't even like the fact that they're in our conference.
well, you be here. I guess you're going to work right now.
Yeah, I'm late. I hit the snooze button about 6 times this morning, so yeah, I'll probably be there in the next 5 or 10. So you guys have a good shot. I had to get you on 92.3, and then that died. And I tried to find you on. I called your dad. He's like, "Here, go to KTCBroadcast.com." I was like, "Dude, I'm driving," but I literally stopped the car.
Okay, awesome.
Tried to go online, and I was like, "I don't know what's happening." So let me just call.
Well, appreciate the call, and you have a good day and be careful.
All right, my man.
All right, thank
See
you.
you later.
Take care,
Take care, Thomas.
All right, so
All
tonight,
right, bye-bye.
we'll have Houston and Villanova at 6, Arkansas and Duke at 8:45. Carolina plays tomorrow at 5. Kansas and Miami tomorrow at 2:15. So those are times going into tomorrow. Two things. If Krzyzewski would lose to the Tar Heels in the Final Four, I can't wait to hear that speech he gives to the crowd.
Oh.
And then I can't. I just marked out my other one, so I don't want that one.
We still got to pick the UNC game.
Me and Terry picked Tar Heels. Who you got, Zach?
Tar Heels.
Tommy? He's went St. Peter.
St. Peter's.
Oh, yeah. He did.
Oh, did we pick? I don't remember picking.
Yeah, where was
pick
you
this.
at? He
I
did.
don't remember
Remember, he went on a minute about the Saints and the.
He talked too long, Zach. Remember?
That's what it is.
Both of those. I know I'm getting those two right. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Yes, it's tax time, and maybe you need some relief. And Shelby Heat and Air has a great spring tax relief tune-up special for just $69. Make sure your air condition is ready for the summer heat with a $69 tune-up. They'll do a complete system checkup and change your filters too. You can even book online or call 704-487-7877. Ask for the $69 spring tax relief special. Shelby Heat and Air, 1990 Eves Road in Shelby, online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. The XBL 225, Saturday, March 26th at 12:30 on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KDCBroadcasting.com. On May 17th, vote Alan Fraley for Gaston County Clerk of Court in the Republican primary. For the past 18 years, Alan has been serving you as a Gaston County Commissioner and is now running for Clerk of Court. Alan wants to thank you for your past support, and he will continue to help and serve the people if elected Clerk of Court. He plans to bring efficiency and accountability to the office of Clerk of Court, not business as usual. Alan has been a longtime conservative Christian Republican and will bring those principles along with him as your Clerk of Court. Mark your ballot for Alan Fraley on May 17th for Gaston County's Clerk of Court. This announcement paid for by Fraley for Clerk of Court campaign. Need metal roofing? Then you need to see Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing in Lincoln. At Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing, you buy direct, saving you money. Featuring premium paint systems, painted fasteners to match, and 1 to 2 day turnaround. 29 gauge material in stock with 22 colors to choose from. It's the largest selection of colors in North Carolina. Plus, they will custom cut your length. Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing, 108 Industrial Park in Lincoln. Call 980-429-2278. Triad Corrugated Metals is now hiring Class A CDL drivers. The big furniture truck has backed up and left some great deals at Kurt's Premium Outlet in the Eastridge Mall in Gastonia, like a 5-shelf bookcase, $100, a Kate Brook counter height dining table and 2 chairs, $385, a Prairie Point table and 4 chairs, along with a bench, all for just $11.50. Kurt's has a table and 3 stools, $750, and a side winder accent chair is $320 at Kurt's Premium Outlet, Eastridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook too. Hey, look, it's Gary Dellinger with Dellinger Electric. Gary, what's going on?
Hey, Calvin, just stopped by to see how the new jingle was coming along.
Well, as a matter of fact, we just finished it up. Want to hear it?
Oh, I can't wait.
Here we go.
When it comes to your wiring, you don't want to monkey around. Call Dellinger Electric. They're the best electricians in town.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't even give her phone number. And monkey around?
704-435-0705. They're the best electricians in town.
I don't have to pay for that, do I?
Join Milton Baker for the West End Cell Swap Shop, Monday through Friday on Carolina Country, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
And we're back with Kevin and the guys. They're still talking. I don't think they heard that. That was the last ad, so I'm just going to keep talking. Be honest, I'm really fed up with the picture of me sleeping on the video they always show them. Oh, no, we're back.
To
okay.
NFL.
We're listening to JP complain about his picture of the video of him
I
sleeping.
Yeah, I know,
in
but
the
I
opening
haven't
montage.
fallen asleep in, 3 months now? You can't
we
change
don't
it.
know
you took,
that.
You took
Did he
Hunter
just
off
say
of the
that?
video.
We got a new
Change my
Hunter.
picture.
Hunter's not here.
I know.
We're-
I saw
he's
the
still
milk
missing.
carton. That was hilarious. The milk carton.
There he
was-
is.
that-
Well, have you
that's-
seen
that's
him?
hilarious.
If you've seen him, please let us
Breaking
know.
news report.
That's hilarious.
Last seen with a small kick-me dog on way to
And a birthday hat on.
And a birthday hat on.
Last seen with our Washington Redskin helmet that used to be in here.
Oh.
It disappeared, Terry. I think it was a planned I'm not coming back exit, Tom.
Yeah, it might have been.
Because I was previously told that I don't want that.
No.
Well, I mean, he decided he wanted it after a while.
Well, and I'll tell you what, if you're anywhere out and about in the greater Western North Carolina area and you see him, please just tell him. We just want to know he's okay. Are you okay? Just call us. Make sure that you're okay, that you're out there wandering. There's a lot of.
And if he wants to come back, we can have him doggy sit. We have
We have
dog
dogs
every
here.
week, don't we,
I
Kev?
mean, we have dogs sit.
You can pet right
we
here.
can bring birthday cakes in every week and just
I need
pretend
to
like
put-
it's
I need to
somebody's
put the
birthday.
camera on her. She's being good right now, so I'm not moving.
Yeah.
Anyway, just
been excellent.
Just reminding, bringing you this jibber jabber is Shelby Heating and Air. Call them 704-487-7877. ShelbyHeating.com on the web for all your repair needs, service needs. If you need installation, need new ductwork, call them 704-487-7877. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Tom.
No,
I tell you what, JP. If you can name me the date or the month that video that you were sleeping on, I'll do something with it.
Well, let's
If
see.
you know that there's more than one occasion, JP, you can't say take it down. Is my point.
There were more than one occasion,
Right.
but it hasn't happened recently.
3 months.
JP, there's a lot of people in rehab that say those sentences that you
Well,
just
yes,
said.
I understand that.
You
But
say he's a
still, even
sleepaholic.
so, even so.
Even so, what? What was the last segment about?
Basketball.
What sport? Which one?
St.
College, pro, or
Stephen's.
high school?
High
St. Stephen's. Yes, you're close. You're right on it. St. Stephen's and
Hickory.
I just remember
Hickory.
Tom ranting about St. Stephen's and something else.
the St. Yes, the St. Stephen's Guardians.
That would be St. Peter's.
Oh, there we go.
St.
Oh, my
Peter's, a Catholic school in Jersey City, not a high school.
Is that Jersey City, New Jersey?
Yes.
I've been there.
Yes.
I've been there. Wait a minute. I went to a Catholic church. It's the same place for a wedding.
I went to
Is that the
Atlantic.
same thing?
I went to Atlantic City one time and got a tour by a Jersey cabbie. That was interesting. He told me all the places I would get shot if he stopped the cab right now.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's exactly who you want to be your cab driver.
Yeah. If you stop there, you get shot. Over there, guy got shot last week. Over there, 2 guys got shot last week. I'm like, I hope this cab don't break down. I don't feel like getting shot.
I had a cab driver in Myrtle Beach point us to which gas station not to stop at because that's where all the heroin deals are going down.
I'm just going to say, if you ever want...
That's what he's saying. Don't stop there.
If you
don't
ever-
stop there after midnight. I was like, I appreciate it, bro.
If you want to have a lot of fun, just go to any gas station in the state of New Jersey and try to pump your own gas.
Have you not heard my story? I about fought a guy over that. I thought he was trying to steal my car.
No, they're not trying to steal your car.
Yes,
Just when
I thought they were trying to steal my car, Tom.
when Uncle Louie comes out there and it says, "Where you from, boy? Carolina?" I'm like, "Yeah." Well, you pump your own gas down there. I pump it here. I was like, "Well, pump the gas. I don't care." It's like, but you cannot. It's illegal to pump your own gas in New Jersey. You
right.
can't do it.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
and I was not told that before
Why
we
is
got
it
there.
illegal to pump your own gas?
JP, hold on. I'll try to explain some of the insanity in a minute. I know it's a sports show, but yes, I did do that, and I pulled in. I pulled in the first gas station, and there was nobody there. I started getting out. Some guy who I thought was a homeless guy is sitting on the ground up on the pavement up against the building, stands up, walks straight to my car, and starts talking to me, asking me about my gas and my debit card. So I jump in the car and pull off. I go to the next one. I get there. There's no homeless guy out there. I get there. Some man walks out the gas station. I think he's going to get in his car. He walks over and reaches and asks for my debit card. I'm like, am I getting robbed? What's going on out here? I said, no. I said, I'm pumping my own gas. And he didn't speak English too well. He's like, no, I have to pump. I was like, no, you're not touching my credit card or my gas or my cars. I got my family. I'm 7 states away. My family's sitting here. And my kids were small then. Like, they were like 2 and 4.
What were you doing up there?
For a wedding.
Okay.
And we weren't warned about letting the guys get in. So I'm arguing with this guy. And finally, he backed off and let me pump my own gas. And so I pumped my own gas and finally left. But I only put in like a quarter of a tank, just enough to get out of the neighborhood, because I was tired of all this mess of people thought they were trying to rob me. I didn't know. And then I get to the wedding, I'm like, y'all, I tried to get robbed twice at the wedding. I'm like, they were trying to pump your gas, the Jersey people. So yes, that is true. It is illegal now. The next funny, real quick, JP, Oregon was the same way until like last year or the year before, and they come out with a law that you now can pump your own gas. And if you would go online and find comments of when this happened on the articles and stuff, it'd blow your mind. People really think they're going to set themselves on fire and blow themselves up.
Yeah, that was the reason for the New Jersey law.
Yes, they're like, we're going to, there were people, how do I put gas in my car without blowing up the gas station? Was like one of the biggest questions. Terry, they're 100% serious. They think they're like, I don't want to smell like gas. I don't want to be dirty. It was just the most things you heard maybe here 40 years ago. Yeah. And they're talking, honestly, it blew my mind, because I remember seeing this, and I was reading these articles, watching these stories on Oregon, because it just happened to me in New Jersey, and this just fascinates me. It just totally.
Well, the funny thing was about Oregon is for years you could pump your own gas into your motorcycle, but not your car. So explain that to me. Okay, we're good here.
They really think they're gonna blow themselves up. Craziest thing I ever heard. And these people vote.
Yeah. It's consent of the governed, Kevin. Just because you're not smart doesn't mean you don't get the right to give your consent.
Right. Democracy is 2 wolves and a sheep voting on dinner.
Pretty much. So what do you want? You want autocracy? You want a dictator?
Yes, the sheep. If the sheep was the dictator, we'd all be eating fruits and berries.
Yeah. Well, we got a potato in office right now. He's a vegetable.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, that's true too. All right, Boston. Not Boston. I'm looking right at this thing. NFL. Terry, we've got all kinds of trades and stuff this week. Would you pay 9 draft picks for a wide receiver that was 5'10"?
No.
We were just talking about this just a minute ago. Tyreek Hill,
so
big
unreal.
trade. I don't know
4
exactly.
years,
What was the exact?
120.
A first, a second, 2 fourths, and a 6.
Yeah, $30 million a year, y'all. At Dallas, we just got rid of Amari Cooper for 20
because y'all didn't give up nowhere near that. I think y'all gave up a 1 for him, right?
That's what I'm saying. We
1.
didn't give nothing hardly up for him, but $20 million was way too high for no more than the production that you got of him. Now, can Hill go down there? I mean, this guy's going to have to catch 15 balls every game,
even if he comes in and he's Wes Welker. Is that right? Remember back in 117? He's still not worth that haul to me. I'm just my opinion. I mean, you guys can give away y'all's draft picks if you want to, but I'm not. And that kind of money, I just can't. I mean, you tying up, that's quarterback money. You can't do that. I just don't see it.
And to see the worst part about it, it's going to start happening now. Since he got it, the next one's going to want that much. I hate it when CD Lambs comes around now, since he got $30 million.
So I don't know. It's just not a good thing.
They gave CD Lamb $30 million a year.
No,
that's what it's going to come up.
It's going to be.
Okay.
Now,
it'll be the next one. Come up to shoot, and like they set the precedent with Tyreek. Now everybody that comes up, it's the 12th best wide receiver in the league is going to want $30 million, right, Kevin?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh gosh, some of these teams make some dumb moves.
But is it not the same thing with what the Hornets got Gordon Hayward, where we had to overpay to get something that we needed?
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There are no free agents. Everybody was talking about is Watson coming to Carolina? No. No.
Right. That would have been the best fit for him.
But David, a billionaire, got outbid by the Cleveland Browns, Tom. That's all I have to say about that. If it was nobody ever, no free agent ever signs in Charlotte, what's your sale? We turn the Whitewater Center green on St. Patrick's Day?
It's not that cold.
But that's your sale to $1 million athlete?
Well, what's your sell if you're Cleveland? We have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
We got Nick Chubb.
Yeah, we okay. Yeah, we got an offensive line. We got a quarterback.
Yeah, Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
We got fans they'll start. If you win, they'll start making up songs about you.
The thing with that one was the guaranteed money. I guess Tepper wouldn't go that far with that. Panthers just Zach. I'm looking at your notes.
Mm-hmm.
She Smith was arrested.
He got arrested on gun charges
and drug charges too. Panthers GM says Sam Darnold, guys, is quote in the lead for the quarterback job.
He's up against Cam Newton. What do you expect?
Are we drafting?
They're going. If they don't,
are you going to pick a first round Pickett or Willis? Is it Malik Willis?
It is. Yeah. And if they don't get, there's a little bit of a rumor mill that Baker might be coming to the Panthers to compete. That would be the first and the third pick competing against each other from the same draft on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't,
I don't think that's really a bad
Pickett.
thing. That's why I said last week that Jacksonville should go after Baker.
He would. Baker would be good in this city because of how he is. People like that bravado. You know what I'm saying?
Do I around here?
Yeah.
I think he's looking
well.
for a starting job first. Obviously, there's also rumors that if he doesn't take a starting job, he may take a 1-year backup deal in Tampa, to back up Brady in case his old butt gets hurt / get a rebirth there. So there's thoughts on that. That's why I was going to try to pull up a mock draft and see what they're showing.
There's also a rumor out on Brady that the Dolphins are after Brady.
Dolphins are trying to get him, but Bruce Arians says it's going to take 5 first-round picks. They got any more picks left after trading for Tyreek Hill?
5?
That's what Bruce Arians said he
5?
wanted. That's what he said he wanted.
For a 1-year guy.
5?
But Brady said he's going to play to 47 now.
Yeah, that's what I'm just telling you. That's what Bruce Arians said because they control him, Tom. So he said if you want to him, it's 5 picks.
They control him for another year.
Yeah, right. And that's the deal. I don't think Tom just wants to sit out a year and then not play it. I think that whether or not Miami might be true or not, there may be truth that Tom wanted to go somewhere else. All right, mock draft here is showing. Where's my internet? There we go. Jacksonville.
That did throw a wrench in it. Sorry, Kevin, but with the third pick coming down, with them trading Matt Ryan, now they're going to be looking for a quarterback. So Panthers might have to try to move up to a quarterback.
On the draft board, for the folks not watching at home, you listen on the radio, Aiden Hutchinson of Michigan is slotted to go 1 overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2, right now, this is according to NFL.com. I guess they may have some inside sources. Detroit Lions, 2. I told y'all when all this started, and they said, there are no top quarterbacks in this process. And I said, I don't care if there are. We have seen, 5 quarterbacks go in the top 12 at one point a few years ago. These idiot GMs sit here, and they swing and miss on in their free agency, and they got to do something. They're going to overvalue the quarterbacks left, and someone somewhere is going to take one of them. Now, on this NFL mock draft, we now have
2 and 3.
2 and 3 in the mock draft quarterbacks. That hasn't been on this. We've been doing
Last
this for how many weeks?
Malik was down in the 20s.
Right. So NFL.com has the Lions going with Willis at the 2 and the Falcons Pickett at the 3. If that happens, Zach, Panthers are sitting at 6. I'm telling you, I honestly think, are they saying next year's quarterback draft class is supposed to be good? So
I haven't heard.
Y'all may be one of the teams tanking this year, and you're just going to have to deal with it. / you messed up and gave away a lot of stuff for Darnold, and you're paying him a lot of money, and it may be one of those make or break year, and then you're going to trade McCaffrey too for some picks next year.
Well, he restructured his deal,
right?
So it helped him out with some money. And they have signed. They've had a really good offseason.
Oh no! Now they've got you guys on NFL.com.
Oh no!
With the 3rd quarterback in 6 picks. That was at one point. I know we didn't have but one of these guys in the top 20.
Is that the guy from
Corral? Is it Coral or Corral?
think it's Coral.
It's from Mississippi.
He's pretty good. He got hurt in that game.
Yeah, he hurt his. I believe he hurt his knee.
It says Sam Darnold and P.J. Walker are likely not to be the team's only quarterbacks. They might trade up to number 3 overall to grab Pickett if the Texans would give up or would want to receive some more picks. Carolina does not have a second or third pick this year because of the Sam Darnold trade. So that's what I'm saying. If you pick a quarterback in the first round,
you're out to the fourth.
That means you pick Sam Darnold in the second and the third round this year. So you would have spent your first 3 draft picks on Sam Darnold and Matt Corral or Malik Willis or somebody. I think, like I said, you've invested in Sam Darnold. I think what you should do again is do what you did a few years ago and draft nothing but defense. Make that good. Make that young. Make that solid. And then you can pay veteran good offensive linemen and get you a veteran quarterback or draft you one next year. This picking a quarterback in the first round when you don't have a second or third and you've already got a quarterback at what, $20 million? I don't know, Zach. I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah, be another
Especially
bad picks episode.
I wouldn't want to pick the third quarterback. I definitely would want to pick the first one if you're going to pick one.
Do we know which one's the first one? That's the problem.
You do not.
I mean, you're talking about Pickett's hand size,
right?
You know, we talked about that.
I'm telling you, that's an issue. Because he wears gloves already. He knows he's got grip issues. So.
Then you got the kid from Liberty, but it's Liberty.
Yeah,
who's he played? It's hard to. And everybody thought this and that about Carson Wentz. I mean, who did he play in college? Had the one big year. He had the one good year, but I don't know. I think it's a little hit or miss on those small college guys. I don't know.
Terry, you were talking about overall number 1 draft picks in a text you sent this week. You got an NC State tackle there in the top 10. Icky. Do you know how to pronounce the last name?
He doesn't. Don't put him on the spot. He doesn't. I'm just saying, we'll say it then.
I think the correct pronunciation, Terry, is Big Ten didn't make the Elite Eight.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
He can pronounce Big Ten.
0 for 9.
Icky 500.
All right. Well, it's got the Commanders at 11 going of Drake London with the Deshaun Watson trade, Tom. No more Brownies in the first round. When is our first pick? Got Cowboys going to linebacker at 24, Terry.
Yeah. Well, Dallas just needs a few more guys on the defensive front or edge, and we'll be okay.
I think we kept our.
Let's talk about Cleveland. This was like the 31st pick of a quarterback in such a little short period of time since 2000 or something.
Yeah. I think Cleveland lost first and second this year and first second next year is what they give.
Yeah, but they had a bunch to trade with, so they still have a second round pick, number 44.
Which is pretty early.
It's got them picking a center with that pick, Tom, from Nebraska. Must be tough. Center from Nebraska. But that's your second round projection. We talked wide receiver. What do you think they may go wide receiver now there to give Watson a weapon if one of these guys
he's got Amari
dropped? Well, you need 2.
Did they lose Higgins?
They may not. I think he's a free agent.
Yeah, they've cut Landry. So
yeah, and you cut Landry, sure did.
Yeah, Landry may come back.
They're saying Odell might come back.
No,
would that not be awesome?
The defenders and the guys in the locker room are pushing. Tommy was talking about guys earlier. Nobody asking for Baker, and they were happy about Deshaun. Some of them are asking for OBJ back to come play with Deshaun too. So that is the safety. One of our safeties said that on Twitter that OBJ is coming back to Cleveland.
Yeah, I've heard that too, but that's not. Good.
All right, let's do quick favorites real quick across the boards now without having the draft. We've seen free agency for the most part. What's going on? Let's give our quick picks for each divisions only winners for each NFL division. Here we go. Zach, give me your AFC East winner.
The Bills.
Terry?
Bills.
Tommy?
Yeah, the Bills.
All right, trick question. Who is second? New England or Miami?
I think Miami.
Patriots.
I think New England.
I would go Patriots over. Just for now, we'll see what happens. Tua may not end up being their quarterback. We'll see.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Could
you imagine if Could you imagine that?
Oh, gosh. AFC North. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Baltimore. I have seen different people pick each one of these teams to win. Cleveland's big deal is, will Deshaun Watson play all the games? And
that's going to be a no.
And Jacoby Brissett will be playing. They did sign him. Will be the backup. Pittsburgh is, who's their current quarterback? Who they signed?
It's the guy from Washington. Back, he was backup last year. He was backup there last year. What was the guy's? Come from Ohio State.
Taylor Heineke?
No, he come from Ohio State.
Mitch Trubisky's who they signed.
Yeah,
you're
Trubisky's an Ohio
Dwayne
guy.
Haskins.
But Dwayne Haskins is there too, isn't he?
He's their third string right now.
In Pittsburgh, yeah.
He's Ohio State quarterback, Zach. He's not in the line for starting job. What are you talking about?
Big Ten stuff.
Yeah, Big Ten, 0-9.
Well, it's been a rough day. It's been a rough morning is all I can
Terry,
say.
who you got in the AFC North?
I don't want to go with Cincinnati because I think that was a one-hit wonder. You come by Baltimore.
Tough pickings. You got Cincinnati? Is it a one-hit thing? Pittsburgh, you're going to pick Mitchell Trubisky to win a division.
No.
Deshaun Watson is going to play them all, and then Baltimore, of course, the running quarterback problem that you always have is the ratio. If it's not 7-1, they don't win Super Bowls. So there's a lot of.
You asked me to predict the winner of the division. That's it.
All right, AFC. Tom, who you got in there right now?
I don't know. Tell me one more time.
The favorite of the AFC North.
Oh, jeez.
Browns division.
It's tough. I don't think the Bengals can repeat.
There's only 2 games between first and fourth place.
I was thinking the same thing was going to happen next.
I think it's tough, but you got to say
same thing.
The Bengals, because they added some offensive linemen, and they're putting the pieces around Joe Burrow. I think the Bengals are serious about it. You have to like them because they're trying to make improvements to their team right now.
Terry, AFC South, Titans or Colts the favorite now?
Oh man,
Titans 12-5 last year. Colts 9-8.
I'm gonna stay with the Titans, just on account of the running game.
I'm gonna stay with the Titans too.
Tommy,
you have to go with the Titans. They got stability at quarterback. The Colts are doing a merry-go-round.
You see who Colts picked up? Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
but I don't think I think he's passed.
They traded for him, but it's just not. It's not. They've had Rivers, and then who'd they have last year?
Carson Wentz,
and now they have.
They keep trying. It's the 6th quarterback since Andrew Luck in 6 years.
It's kind of like
in 6 years since he retired.
It's kind of like the United States. It's like the United States.
Yeah, he was one of the starters.
Yeah,
it's like the United States Senate. They just keep trying another old white guy. I don't know if it's going to work. I just don't know if it's going to work.
AFC West now.
Oh, here you go.
Who's going to win this merry-go-round? 12 wins for the Chiefs last year. Now they got no Tyreek Hill. Raiders, 10 wins. Now they've got Devontae Adams. Chargers, 9 wins, have improved their defense. And the Broncos added Russell Wilson and defenders as well.
Might be the toughest division in the league.
I'm going to make my pick. Denver goes from last to first.
Tommy.
Oh, geez. I wonder why he picks them.
He's a Wisconsin. He's a Big Ten Wisconsin fan.
Yeah, he was a Wisconsin quarterback. I don't know. Denver, when you listen to the talking heads talking about them, they got all these weapons.
Defense is going to be good.
But Miller's not there anymore. He went to Buffalo.
Defense is still going to be good.
He went to the Rams in Buffalo. I don't know.
Third best defense in the AFC last year.
I like Herbert. I like the Chargers. I just think they've.
Actually, I think third best in the NFL last year.
I think the best quarterback in that conference that division could be Herbert. I don't know if Russell Wilson's better than Herbert. I like Herbert.
I agree. He's a big up and comer.
Yeah. So I think the Chargers are going to win that. But it's tough though.
That is a tough division to pick.
Yeah, it's big.
There have been predictions. There is a possibility. We've never had it before. Now with 7 playoff teams, there's a possibility you can get 4 teams
from
a division into the playoffs. So
AFC North's loaded too, though.
It's all about injuries.
Well, I think that your problem there is going to be they'll beat each other, so that's really not going to help them.
Yeah,
right. They all could all split. It's just who they play in their other games. They'll dominate the AFC South and the AFC East teams, probably except for the Bills, maybe the Titans, but they'll get their wins. There's 3-6 wins with that. Just looking at it. All right, in the NFC, favorite in the NFC North, Packers or Vikings right now? Packers have give all their money to Aaron Rodgers, and they ain't got nobody for the vending machine guys.
It'll be the Packers.
It'll be the Packers.
Tommy?
I don't know if it's the. What are you going to go with?
They're
The Vikings or the Lions?
They're regular
the
season
Bears.
teams.
You're not going Bears or Lions.
Yeah.
And you're going to go
regular
Aaron
season
Rodgers
team.
not going to win 10 games again?
Let's go. I mean, Mr. September and October is probably going to win the division. But what's going to happen in January when you can't
We're
get
talking about
you can't get a
regular
you can't,
season, Tom.
You can't get a first down against the 49ers.
We ain't talking about your Big Ten.
What are you
champions or
talking
nothing.
about the Big
Is there
10?
any chance, anyhow? Go ahead, Tom.
How about you have to go with Mr. October is going to win it.
All right. Is there any chance, anyhow, that anyone other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the NFC South?
I got Tampa Bay for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Saints don't have a quarterback. Falcons don't have a quarterback. Panthers
James
don't have a
is coming-
quarterback. What do you do?
I think James is coming back to New Orleans.
He is. He signed,
Yeah,
but
I'm
geez.
gonna tell you
Falcons got
what
Marcus
now.
Mariota.
He went for $1 million and then he got money. What is it? 2 years? He probably got what?
He got
28 million?
something. Yeah, it was
Hey,
20 something.
They went 9 and 8.
14
They went
million?
9 and 8
Think of
last
that.
year. They tied for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And just missed on the
So
on the
I mean, I got to
tiebreaker.
give him credit of stepping back.
But they
and then he
don't
got
have
his
Sean
money.
Payton now either. So
Right.
you got to
That's
remember
true.
that.
He's going to Dallas.
But he got
2
paid.
years.
So there you
NFC East.
no doubt.
Well, he's going with the.
You're exactly right.
The
Tom.
Washington Commanders for Terry, right?
Wrong answer.
The Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
Is that-
Dallas? I mean, who else do you pick?
Somebody.
Yeah,
Somebody
go
else.
out on
Anybody
a long
else?
limb because that thing gonna break. real
Anybody
early.
I'm not
else?
picking anybody else.
What's wrong with Philly?
The football team's going to not be there.
What's wrong with Philly?
What's wrong with Philly?
They don't have a
Dallas beat
quarterback.
them by 20, and Dallas beat them by 25.
Washington just added a pretty decent quarterback to a 7-10 team.
Dak Prescott is 25-6
I
against
think
the whole
Wentz is a
division.
decent quarterback. I just don't think he stay on the field.
Dak is 500.
He is 25-6 against the NFC East.
You're right.
He is very good.
He's good against his own division. He's 500 or,
That's what we're talking
worse
about.
against everyone else, and he's 500 or worse when Zeke don't get 100. And now he just lost his best receiver he's ever had. And again, Terry goes Cowboys.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, who you got there?
It's hard to go, but when you look at what they got, you got to go with the Cowboys. As much as it pains me to say it,
They just lost their two best players.
I don't.
We didn't lose our
According to
best
Terry,
player
you
on
about,
defense.
Terry,
Lawrence was the best
Terry, you
guy on
about
our
checked
defense.
into rehab
Parsons.
or a psychiatrist
there's
talking
a
about
lot of
Randy
people
Gregory
you
last
got-
week.
Yeah, well, we did everything for him. That's all I said. I never said he was the best player
You
we
wanted
had.
to send Tanya Harding over to Randy Gregory's house
My Lord.
just to see
Yeah.
how he's doing in Denver.
In honor of the Winter Olympics, we're going to knock Randy Gregory's leg out.
Now he's not any good. I think Washington will have a chance. We'll see how the defense stands up. Ron Rivera, I just don't trust him at all. But again, you guys got to remember, half the teams traditionally miss the playoffs. Out west, in both the AFC and NFC West, these may be the best divisions. Hardest to pick, maybe. But the NFC West has, I don't think it's as solid as at all because who's the quarterback in Seattle? Nobody. San Francisco, they can't make up their mind who they want to play quarterback.
It's Trey Lance. What are you talking about? They're going to get rid of Garoppolo and
If
play
they
Lance.
don't or can't find anywhere to get rid of him, are you going to bench Jimmy Garoppolo?
Somebody's going. Well, you know what? They're all running out of spots.
That was talked about yesterday.
Carolina,
they're in a mess.
In Detroit, who else has a spot for Garoppolo? New York.
Seattle.
That's who needs to call is the Giants.
Is that not getting almost too late now, though?
Yes.
To do all that?
Right. That's why Baker's in an issue. San Francisco don't. Their problem is they don't want to trade him in the NFC because they're trying to win this.
Yeah.
They can't.
They don't want to give him to Seattle.
Right. If they're going to trade him, he's coming to Carolina.
And Carolina don't have what they want to give up to get him. They don't have the second and third round picks. They ain't going to give him first.
Their trouble is, so the rumors are that Garoppolo and Baker for the trade offers are 2 second round picks for either one of them. And
I'll take that.
Apparently
I'll take that.
Folks
Would you
are
not, Terry?
not.
I'd take
2 second round picks for Garoppolo. We don't have the picks though. That's the problem. That's the Carolina's problem. They don't have that pick.
I'm just gonna say 2 of those 3 guys that were just in that NFL mock draft a minute ago in 3 years from now, we'll be traded for 5th-round picks.
See what irritates me.
By percentage, 2 of those 3 quarterbacks will be traded for a 4th-round pick or whatever in 3 or 4 years.
What irritates
terrible.
me? What irritates me about the Browns is and Baker. If Baker would have just shut his mouth, they might not be in this. Oh, we got to do something here.
Yeah.
Or if he would have just shut it down last year when he needed to shut it down, and let Case Keenum say, "Go out there and try to win half the games. And if I'm better by November, we'll try to make the playoffs. If we don't, then." A lot of these guys are under contract in 22. We'll come back and do it again. Injuries happen. But he had to go be a hero, and then the OBJ thing blows up. Then he can't keep his mouth shut every time somebody criticizes him, and then the whole thing blows up. And now look what you had to do. So, I mean, it's just, it's hard to explain. But he's ruined his own draft value. I mean, his trade value. But he doesn't care that he's ruined his trade value. But he has to understand, well, if you ruin your trade value, you hurt Cleveland, but you hurt yourself too, buddy, because nobody wants you. Nobody wants that circus. Nobody wants a teenage girl and all the drama, and that's what he is. And it's sad because I think he could have become a very solid NFL quarterback if he just shuts his mouth and play the game. And he gets off social media for a while, and then the Watson stuff starts, and then he can't help open up his mouth again. You know what I mean? Writes the goodbye letter before they signed Watson. I was like, what? Man, this guy's a teenage girl, man. It just, I'm very frustrated with it, but that's my Cleveland Browns country music song today. I mean, it's very frustrating.
They're going to be
let me say this. I will say this, and since nobody else is willing to defend Baker Mayfield at all, he, as someone who switched teams to pull for the Browns after going 1-31. If I was the quarterback that came in, won a playoff game, we were 8-9 last year, 1 win away from having a winning record. I'm hurt. I'm going with Terry's feelings on the Randy Gregory situation on this. We haven't won a playoff game in 25 years, and the first thing you do is when I get hurt, and I know I'm not Stefanski's man, is the first thing you do is basically flirt with / go sign a possible sexual predator. It's not like you went and got Tom Brady's coming in. We're getting someone with maybe questionable attributes. We don't know if we're going to succeed. He might not even, and here's the thing, he might not even play 6-8 games. But you would rather have him than me and everything I've done for this franchise. I would be a little pissy too.
No.
Quarterbacks are very defensive.
He's been pissy for 4 years.
Well, that's true, but I'm just saying.
I think it's
in that situation. I would have. I think
got
it's
you
almost
to the playoffs,
right. And
I think that's his chip on his shoulder. I think that's what makes him who he is.
So the thing about this is the same thing with the Tebow situation. Tebow won a playoff game against the Pittsburgh Steelers and never got another chance to start for another team again. Whether or not you think he's good or not, and we've done this with Kaepernick for 6 years. The fact is, he won a playoff game and never, ever got a chance to start again. He got put on backups. They brought Peyton Manning in, and he's like, oh, well, you got to bring in Peyton Manning. And he won a Super Bowl. But then he got backups everywhere else, not even trying, because other guys will see him throw or whatever. Like, we can't do this. So Baker's in a tough spot to where he gets no love from his fan base now. No, that he changed the code. Him and Jarvis.
That's
Landry
not true. That's not
things.
true, Kevin.
What's not
no
true?
love from his fan base. That's not true. It's a divided fan base.
Right.
Let me ask y'all something.
But I'm saying it's not
here's
fair.
the problem
I see where he's at with this.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was going to mint something or do something, and you just get rid of me for somebody. It's not Peyton Manning. It's not Tom Brady. It's something. It's an unknown. It's an unknown.
Who else do y'all have? I mean, if you went and got Watson, you don't know whether he's going to play or not.
They got Jacoby Brissett is your NC State man.
Brissett would be the guy.
They signed him.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he's decent to hold the spot.
Yeah, he's
he is a 1B.
He's about like a Ben Roethlisberger. He's hard to tackle.
Can you throw to a tight end? Then you can play in Cleveland.
They must change their offense, though.
Can you hand the ball to Nick Chubb
Tom,
and throw to a tight end?
You
but can he hit Amari Cooper?
A lot, but Austin Hooper left because they didn't throw to him. He just left and said they wouldn't throw me the ball. They wanted me to be a blocker in their offense. That's why I'm out of there. He went and signed to Tennessee So Hooper's like, y'all don't throw me the ball, I'm gone. So I don't know what their offense is.
If they're smart, they'll do like the Cowboys used to back in the day. They used Irvin, they used Emmett, they used Novacek.
So watching Stefanski's offense, and see if Tom agrees. He watches it more than I do. They don't feed the wide receiver, number one wide receiver. They don't feed the number one running back, and they don't really feed the tight ends. It's like their offense is designed is nothing but distractions. Hey, here's Nick Chubb. Y'all go guard him. We're going to throw it to the third string wide receiver. Here's OBJ. Y'all go to him. We're going to throw it to the second string wide receiver. We're going to throw it to the second string tight end. It's like there's no feeding it to whoever's hot in Stefanski's offense or whoever's good. That's what's weird about it. Like the whole Nick Chubb not getting 20 carries a game. He'd get 20, Kareem get 10, and before I'd even consider throwing the ball. It's just that's the old school.
I mean, even if you toss it off to Kareem every now and then.
We got to get out of here on this. All right, JP, you ready? You ready?
He said, yeah. He can't hear me.
You could have hit the microphone.
Well, I don't have the headphones on.
Okay. We'll be back in just a few minutes on KTC Broadcasting.
Family owned and operated, proudly serving Shelby and the surrounding area with the finest in heating and cooling for your home or business. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, and right now they have an exclusive spring special on Carrier, Goodman, and Mitsubishi systems. Get exclusive Shelby Heated and Air discounts of up to $750. Yes, discounts on quality heating and cooling systems of up to $750. Online at ShelbyHeating.com. See their page at WhatsUpShopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Located at 1990 Eves Road in Shelby.
Spindle City Bottle Club would like to invite you to their annual Bottle and Antique Sale on Saturday, April 2nd at the VFW, 3300 West Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. No admission fee, free appraisals, and there will be door prizes too. Plan now to be there for a day of fun from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. That's Saturday, April 2nd at the VFW in Gastonia, right next door to Mountain View Antiques.
It's me. I'm back. My name's still Wolfman Jack. Wolfman Jack. And you might be sitting out there and thinking that we ain't getting nowhere past. I mean, people don't leave the house unless they put on a surgical mask first. And even at a bar that I hang out, you know, the bartenders have been using thermometers to stir my drinks with.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings, 10 a.m. to 12 noon on The Boss, WHS Shelby, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com. Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville are now carrying greenhouses.
A greenhouse?
No, not a greenhouse. Greenhouses for your vegetables and flowers. Come check them out today. Also, come in now and take 6% off sheds. And ask them about their birthday houses with big discounts. Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes and greenhouses too. 2268 Lincoln Highway 150 East in Cherryville. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhomes.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
For over 60 years, Boyd Tire and Appliance has been serving the Clover and surrounding area with the finest quality of home appliances, televisions, lawn equipment and parts, tires and more. They feature in-house financing with 90 days same as cash, and they service what they sell. Drop by their showroom at 110 North Main Street in Clover, open 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. Call 803-222-3231 for Boyd Tire and Appliance and Boyd Lawn and Garden. Online at BoydTireandAppliance.com.
Vail Mini Mart, formerly Dan's Superette, located off of Highway 27 West, is under new ownership. You like ice cream? They have 24 different flavors: strawberry, chocolate chip cookie dough, cookies and cream, cotton candy, Superman, all the kids' favorite, and my favorite, black cherry. A daily basket special comes with fries and a drink for $5.99. Wednesdays, 2 hot dogs for $1. And don't forget about the best pizza around, Hunt's Brothers Pizza. And start your mornings off with their breakfast. Vail Mini Mart, 5467 North Carolina Highway 27 West, or call at 704-276-2237. Vail Mini Mart, the best place around.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
What's up?
How much?
I don't know exactly how that works out, but I'll say that out loud and see if I'll let Tom explain that. As okay, wow, that's weird. All right. Anyway, Major League Baseball. We changed some rules. We might want to talk about some of those. Opening day is April 7th, and they did have some rule changes. But opening day, I want to talk about Terry's favorite player and the best player in baseball. Of course, always from the Angels. This time it's Shohei Ohtani. He'll be starting opening day as the starting pitcher, Tom, and in the same game, and you can explain how this works, will be the DH.
Well, they allow the player.
So they basically waive the DH.
They're doing they're letting you do the player DH,
right?
Which nobody does. I don't think anybody does it in high school because nobody understands it. And there's a great video on it. I need to put it on your website so people can see it. But what it basically means is if Ohtani is the player and the DH, when they take him out pitching, he can remain the DH. Mm-hmm. And that's basically – now, there's all kinds of little stupid rules along with it as well. Like in high school, you can't courtesy run for him if he's the player DH and things like – if he's the pitcher, Well, you can't run for him. Why? He's the pitcher. No, he's the DH too. So you can't courtesy run for the DH. So, I mean, there's little things in there. And a lot of these teams, if they're going to do it with somebody, they do it with their pitcher. But I think it's less confusing at the high school level. Just if you're going to have your player DH, you're just gonna put your pitcher in the lineup and do a straight 9, because after he's done pitching, you're going to put him over at first base or whatever and let him stay in the game.
I just think go ahead, Tom.
It makes sense at the major league level too. Well, if you have Ohtani, a player DH makes sense. For a lot of things, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like some other coaches have talked about some kind of scenarios. It's just because your pitchers, I would say, maybe in JUCO as well, you let them hit.
Yeah.
It makes more sense at lower levels of baseball because you want to keep that pitcher in the game hitting. But the reason why it makes more sense at major league is in high school, it's like if your best pitcher's not pitching, he's a shortstop.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's just it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the high school game. It makes sense for a higher level of ball if you have an Ohtani, but really it just kind of causes more confusion. But that's a player DH rule.
Gotcha. Well, that's what's going on is Ohtani's opening day starter. The other games on opening day, they'll play at home against the San Diego Padres. Of course, we could not start a baseball season without Yankees and Red Sox first, guys. And I just wish that we could send out a mass mailer at some point to the folks in New York and Boston and let them know that we don't care. We don't care. I don't care about your baseball teams. I don't care about your football, basketball teams. But they think the rest of the country does because they all live there in this one big city and think that, hey, everybody cares. I don't. I never will.
Everybody I've ever met from New York City has no desire ever to go back there. Because it's in Charlotte.
Same thing, Atlanta.
The Charlotte guys who my booking agent for the adult baseball league is a guy from Brooklyn. And I work with several other guys from the New York City area, and they all say the same thing. No way I would ever go back there ever again. I mean, so
and then they come down here and vote and get our crap messed up.
I wish
I would disagree with you, Zach. If you talk to a lot of those guys, the ones that leave are a lot more conservative. They leave because of that. I mean, I think that's a myth. Oh, these New York people come down and vote for. No, I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of them come down because they're tired of that, the overtaxed and overregulated. That's kind of their credo. But I and another thing too, I think that's a bit of an over stereotype. If you're from a city, you are automatically liberal, but the ones that aren't so much are the ones that leave. I meet guys from Chicago that umpire baseball. And they're the same thing. Never go back to Chicago. Never going back to that place. There's guys that play in the league that are from Chicago, and they still wear their Cubs stuff, But no, hate that place. Never going back there. Can play golf in March down here. Don't have to pay taxes. So there's a reason why those people leave. I don't think they're voting for. Bernie Sanders, Zach. It's just throwing it out there.
I hope not.
Cleveland versus Kansas City opening day, 4:00. And the pitchers have not been announced for that. Either one of you got a feeling on who will be starting for your team?
I think it'd be a Bieber for Cleveland, would it not?
Probably, and I don't know. We might go Keller, but I don't know. To me, we got rid of Minor. I don't know, but hey, on the back end of it though, I noticed the other day when I looked at it, and that wasn't today, because we could have got beat yesterday, but we was the only team that in preseason had not been beat. But now again, it's preseason. Yeah, preseason.
I bet you're losing the regular season.
Didn't Steve Spurrier went undefeated?
Oh my gosh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. Was trying to run it up.
Oh my god!
Give us a benefit of the doubt here, guys. People.
All right, so we'll go.
We'll
talk
about that.
We'll talk about some of the rules real quick in baseball that are now in play. Increased roster size, which I wanted less roster spaces, and they went the opposite. So I wanted less in baseball and more in football, and they keep doing the opposite. So they went from 26 to 28 players. We just need somebody else to get the third out in the seventh inning, Tom. We can't just get the whole seventh inning. I mean, how many pitchers do we need?
It's different. It's just different now, ain't it? I mean, the way that they do stuff. I mean, back in the day, you would go 8, and then you bring Eckersley in. You know, they bring Dave Stewart out, and Eckersley come in and finish it up.
Now we got a setup man for the
we got
setup.
5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
and then you pitch 5 innings.
This is turned into travel ball where the starter gets the first 3, everyone else gets an inning after that.
We're trying to get to 20,000 players in Major League Baseball is what we're trying to do. Come on, y'all. That's why
and they wonder why they're going to have to get the 750,000
But,
on the
I'm going
lowest
to tell you
player.
something else, though. When you think of stuff like that and people say, okay, what's the big difference? Well, Major League Baseball in history hadn't reached 20,000 players yet. NFL football is like 23,000. And people say, well, they started later. Yeah, they did, but it's more of a brutal sport than what baseball is.
Right, so you need other guys to replace
now, and you go NBA, pro, they hadn't reached 5,000.
Yeah, but
4,300, as a matter of fact, is where they're at on total players ever played.
I'm going to be honest. You may have given the most random sports stat in this show's history. I would have never guessed. I would have never looked up. I would have never even thought of in any of that. You could be making all of that up, and I wouldn't.
No, I'm serious. Just telling the truth. It's 2,300 and some. 23,000 and some NFL players. Yeah. We ain't reached 20,000 Major League Baseball players, and in the NBA, it's 4,300 something total.
Well, Tom, this actually covers what we just talked about. The starting pitcher DH rule is a new rule, actually, for 2022. Otherwise known as the Shohei Ohtani rule. Now that there's a universal DH, the league's had to make an adjustment. Through the current CBA, starting pitchers who are included in the batting order can now remain in the order as a DH once they are done pitching, basically. Or they don't have to stay as a DH.
It's a college rule that's been adopted by high school. And I think a lot of, when I sit down and talk when they're not mad at me, during the game, I can talk to some of these coaches. And we talk about it, and it's basically that unless it's your pitcher, I don't think you're going to use it that much. And I've talked to some coach, I might use it for my second baseman. I'm like, why? Why would it makes sense for the pitcher because the pitcher in lower levels of baseball is technically your best athlete, and if he's not pitching, you want him to hit. But a lot of times it doesn't even make sense for that because you're going to put him at shortstop.
Why? So our question would be, for my thinking is, why would they want to use him for the second baseman? Because the second baseman can't hit. They got somebody else that can't play the field and can hit better. That makes sense?
Right. That's exactly right.
Is that right?
Exactly.
Put it this way. All right. I'll give a good example. So my senior year at Bessemer, we had, I came in and they had to find a place to put me. So the guy who was playing shortstop, which is the pitcher, Chris Mason, they moved him to center field. Moved me at shortstop. I could play short, catcher, center, whatever. The guy that was playing third base had always played third base before, Terry. The year before, he hit 350 and like 8 home runs. He's supposed to be the best hitter on the team. But we have 3 giant men on our team. They can't play second base, but they can crush the ball.
We'll just put them at DH.
So one goes to DH, one went to third base, one went to first base, and the kid who was playing third, who crushed the ball last year, moves to second base. he has so many errors and so much trouble at second base, it affects his hitting, I think, and he hit like 250 his senior year. In practice, he would destroy it.
Yeah.
But that's a completely different position. And so that's where they're at with that position. I get where they're talking about with that is that you run into just your roster. So we had 3 guys that could crush it, or no, 4 guys that could crush it, but nobody. I was the only one that could really play any infield. One of the lefty played first base. I'll take that back. He was a nasty first base. I could throw anything over there, he'd catch it. But if we put one of the other 2 big guys over there, couldn't catch nothing. One had a DH, one had to play third, and the guy at third wasn't even that good. I had to cover his back on anything in the hole.
But the reason why the player DH doesn't make sense for second base. Okay, so you have your pitcher. Eventually you're going to take your pitcher out of the game.
That's true.
But second base, what are you going to do? I'm going to take my second baseman out, leave him to hit.
So Mason, let's say Mason starts pitching. Well, when he comes out, he doesn't come out of the game. He comes to center. He goes to center field.
That's what you just use the standard DH in that circumstance.
So anyway, it's all fuzzy math.
Because in high school,
baseball rules.
In high school, you can DH for anybody.
Right.
And what I didn't understand last night, I had a team that DH'd for the first baseman.
It's usually a pretty good hitter, correct?
DHs
if we would have
for
put
a first base.
If we would have put our backup first baseman, I wouldn't have wanted him hitting those.
I guess. I mean, I could see, but it's just rare. Generally, a first baseman
can hit the ball.
Because I think it's a little bit underrated, your defense, because if a team's got a couple lefties, you better have a good first baseman over there. You know what I mean?
If we have designated hitters, why can't we have designated fielders? So, if we got people that can't play.
Well, in essence, that's what it is, right? If you DH for somebody, he's the designated fielder.
Right.
The other one is the designated hitter. But I'm just going to tell you, all this aside, when the coach comes up and hands me a lineup card and says straight 9, I love it.
But why do we hurt the guys' feelings though that can't hit as opposed to guys that can't catch? It's like you're the designated fielder.
Kevin, what's that got to do with anything?
Because it's my issue that David Ortiz is in the Hall of Fame and people think that Edgar Martinez is and Barry Bonds isn't, and they think that they are baseball players, and they are not. They're glorified softball players is all they are.
Now that I agree with.
Tom, it's one of these days we're going to end up when they bring us a card, and it's going to have 18 players on. This is my starting line.
Right.
Yeah.
9 defenders.
I know.
9. Now, one thing we never thought would come across in Major League Baseball as children or any type of baseball was ghost runners. That's what we do. Ghost runners are back. Extra innings, put them on second base. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I know some people like it to make the game go faster.
I thought they killed that this year.
They did, but they came back. They rebarred.
I'm just going to tell you, umpires love it.
Yeah, we do.
I'm damn sure y'all do. That's not what this is about. It's about the purity of the game.
But what do you do?
Not how quick an umpire gets to go.
Kevin, whatever game we mentioned, you mentioned changing the rules,
right?
But this one bothers you. It's like,
does.
Remember when he said in basketball?
Terrible.
Remember what he said in basketball? You should play to an arbitrary number. Yeah. That's what he said. Play to an arbitrary number in basketball because of whatever kind of gobbledygook was going around in his head. But this rule bothers you when the problem with baseball is it takes too long and people lose interest. So to speed up the game.
No, the problem with baseball, that's what they say. The problem with baseball is the action in it, and that's what I've been told all the time is the action. The length of the time people sit and watch a NASCAR race in an NFL game. People watch a college football game for 4 hours. Are the same people that tell you baseball is too long. I think baseball has the same thing soccer does. Is that you can go to a game and not know. In soccer, nobody's going to score, which I want to bring up in a second. In baseball, you go to a game and some people don't like it if there's no action. It's a pitcher's duel. And it's hot. Okay. If it was always 75 and it was always 9-5, I think it would be a much more universally loved sport. But the fact I'm looking at this highlight right here, 17-1 Cubs, and it's 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Do you want to be there for that? So, in 162 games.
I will say this. I did some last week. I did some older guys playing.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys, if it's a strike early in the count, they attack the baseball. And I'm telling you, you play a 9-inning game in 2 hours and 15 minutes. as opposed to these travel ball daddies. You take your first pitch, son. Why? I mean, I was talking to one of the players, and he keeps track of his son's batting average, and he says, "Look, son, this is your batting average with 0-0. This is your batting average with 0-1, and your 0-1 batting average drops down so much from 0-0. What are you going to get first pitch? Probably a fastball, you know. So why are you not attacking the first pitch? Well, you want to see what the pitcher's doing. That's what you do in the on deck circle, dummy. I mean, why?
So
I mean,
two thoughts on that. So I think there's an age line in that to where you do that. 9 and 10-year-olds. Terry, how many pitchers throw strikes to 9 and 10-year-olds? It's not. It's not often.
It's not.
It's almost a better strategy not to swing at all.
Well, that makes it a great. That makes it a great game. You're really learning baseball.
But wait a minute.
The ones that I like
there's an age though. Once you get to 11 and 12, those kids can throw the strikes.
Yeah,
100%. I think starting off, these first time they've ever pitched, Terry, they almost never throw strikes. I've sit here and watched these kids; they don't do it. Now, with that said, playing with Dustin used to drive me crazy. I agree with you, Tom. I'm a first pitch hitter. I know you're going to throw it 85 miles per hour. It's going to be a strike somewhere. It's going to be somewhere around the plate.
Or near the zone.
It's going to be near the zone more than likely.
But you don't want to get behind as a pitcher.
Dustin would sit there and watch every – he's never swung at a first pitch. He said, I wanted to time my step on his fastball. I know the second pitch, they always throw me a curveball no matter what. And then the third pitch, I'm going to try to knock it 400 feet. That was his strategy. So he watched the first one. He knew he was going to get a curveball on the second one because he's a left-handed power hitter, and whether it's a lefty or a righty, he's getting something in the dirt, and then the third one he's trying to rip. And I'm like, and I was sitting there watching him go down 0-2, watching 2 fastballs down the gut, and it would drive me crazy. I'm like, swing the bat, dude. And I go up there, I go up there, hack. I'm swinging the first pitch, second pitch, but there's different. I agree with you, Tom. It drives me crazy watching big kids watch strikes go by.
I like a coach who teaches go get it. You know what I'm saying? When you step in there, first pitch that you see, rip it. You know, I'd rather have a team that's very aggressive than a team that goes up there and just stands.
Well, as a pitcher, if you hit just when I was pitching, if you hit my first pitch, next time you come up, I'm like, well, what do I throw? Because if I throw the same pitch, he's going to swing and crush it again. If I throw something else, he's sitting there waiting on me to lob a curveball over. So what do I do now?
I definitely don't want to get behind.
Now, as a batter, I remember. I don't know if you remember Trey Bridges. He went to Shelby to play, and we grew up and we're friends. He's a lefty. He went to Tennessee, played really good. When we played them my senior year, first pitch, I knew he's going to throw 87 fastball, and he threw it right down the middle, and I crushed a double. The whole rest of the year, Tom, I never saw a fastball from Trey. All lefty curveballs. In fact, Brody Taylor, Terry, the next game, all curveballs. I didn't see a fastball from Shelby my senior year after that first pitch double off the ball off Trey. So they wrote that down, double fastball, and I never saw another one again from them. Lefty curveballs I saw for 2 straight games after that, or 3 counting the game I was in. So yes, from the batter's point of view, when you do hit that, it does mess with the pitchers on what we're going to throw to you. But the ghost turn thing, real quick, Tom, I hate it, and here's why. I understand it helps with the timing. I understand it makes more exciting. It changes. I hate it because I do think the stats are important, and what they've tried to do now in baseball is modernize it and change it to where we're going to make it to where the stats aren't important, and we're going to do what we did to the basketball players, like we've done to the baseball players, is say these guys played in the 1900s. They're not as good as these athletes now. They're not as good as these players now. We're all dunking on a 10-foot goal, by God. Nobody's dunking on a 12-foot anymore, is there, Terry? Is anybody dunking on 12-foot goals?
Not that I know of.
We're still all dunking on 10-foot as far as I've seen. But they want to sit there and say, they're not as good as Mike Trout. They're not as good as whoever the next guy is going to be. They have to sell TV. What's the ESPN going to do? Hey, guys, tune in to 2022 baseball where we're almost as good as we were in 1998. They can't sell tickets. Are they going to sell it like that? No, they got to get up there and talk about how great everybody is, how awesome everybody is. So the ghost run thing ruins RBI stats, pitching stats.
It doesn't ruin
steal a
them.
base.
Doesn't ruin them.
Tom, if I'm Hank Aaron and someone passes me and they had 100 RBI stats from ghost runners, I would be pissed.
How often is it going to happen, Kevin?
Once. and that guy's going to have more RBIs than me, I'm going to be pissed.
Okay.
Ruins the RBIs and runs. Ruins the ERAs.
I think if they did it, they could. If that guy's a ghost runner, take the RBI. Don't give the RBI.
I'll have a conversation about that, but we'll have to get real difficult about the ghost runners. But again, okay, if you're doing ghost runners, you got to prepare for everything. So we're in spring training, right? Stay with me. Do I have a designated ghost runner pitcher to start that inning? Because you have to come in with a runner on second, no outs, throwing from the stretch. You can't just put one of your 9 guys in there, can you? Shouldn't that guy be preparing the whole year? So if we got 28 extra rosters, 2 extra guys, how about one of you's my designated, not overtime, extra inning starter? No matter what we do, 10th inning, you're going in. Be ready. Got it. Just being prepared. Somebody's going to do it, isn't they?
Yeah, somebody do it for a minimum salary.
But no, I'm saying, Terry, as far as the manager, somebody's going to look at your pitching staff and be like, whatever your name is, Reinhardt, you got the 10th inning. All year, I want you to sit there and be ready for a guy on second base, and you got to get out of that inning. Because that's what it is. That's why it changes the game as well, too.
Yeah, how much money you pay me?
Well, the closers and them, they're getting money. They're getting plenty of money. All right, been a long day. We were on the NCAA tournament all day. All right, JP, let's take a quick break, come back, and we'll wrap up the day. We're not really going to get into NBA or NASCAR or anything. We'll go over the schedules for this weekend. We got all kinds of sports on KTC Broadcast. We'll be right back on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Yes, it's tax time, and maybe you need some relief. And Shelby Heating and Air has a great spring tax relief tune-up special for just $69. Make sure your air condition is ready for the summer heat with a $69 tune-up. They'll do a complete system checkup and change your filters too. You can even book online or call 704-487-7877. Ask for the $69 spring tax relief special. Shelby Heating and Air, 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Yeah. What's up, Doc? The Bunny with the Money is back, and someone will win a $1,000 shopping spree from one of our local area merchants. Register today at Moss Drug on West Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, Hojo Power Sports and Equipment on Grigg Street in Shelby, at Shelby Meat and Grocery on South Lafayette Street, Shelby, at Pro Wellness Chiropractic Center on Clark Drive in Lincoln, at Eddie's Auto Parts on East Main Street in Lincoln, at Carolina Hardware Garden and Pool Center on the Reedsville Road in Lincoln, at Triad Metal Roofing on Industrial Park Road in Lincoln, and at Carolina Furniture Mart on North Aspen Street in Lincoln. The drawing will be held Friday, April 15th. See store for details. For a complete list of sponsors, go to whatsupshopper.com, and you could be this year's winner of a $1,000 local shopping spree with the Bunny with the Money.
Now, a lot of times, Hendrick Appliance in Shelby gets a truckload of washers or maybe a truckload of refrigerators or a truckload of ranges. But this week, Hendrick Appliance in Shelby has received several truckloads of everything. That's right, everything. Refrigerators, freezers, washers, dryers, microwave ovens, ranges, and more. And with scratch and dented items, these appliances come with a 1-year warranty. So hurry in now for the big savings at Hendrick Appliance, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, on the right going down, on the left coming up.
Get your metal roofing today at getabuilding.com in Shelby. They're the building people. Select from 18 different colors, cut to order, 26 and 29 gauge. Right now, 29 gauge Galvalume starting at $299 a linear foot with a 25-year warranty. Ask about the 40-year warranty color panels for $350 a linear foot. Plus, trim and accessories are available, and get a quick turnaround on most orders with delivery available. See getabuilding.com, 1705 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, online at getabuilding.com, or call 704-482-7880.
We're back at Coda.
They go down the hill, and now they'll bend into turn 2. Slight advantage for Ross Chastain. Now here comes Kyle Busch.
It's the Pit Boss 250.
Allmendinger right up under the rear decklet as they head down the long straightaway towards 12. Here comes Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch gets to the bumper of Allgaier. They'll go nose to tail into number 15 here. Charging hard. He is now looking to the inside.
Saturday, March 26th at 4 p.m.
Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
It's Bacon Filet Week, Friday and Saturday at Ora's Supermarket in Broad River, Hams, and Shelby. Come in and get ready for your big cookout with these great tasting and tender bacon wrap fillets, priced at only $6.99 each. Get your hamburger meat too. Ground beef is just $2.99 a pound with 3 pounds or more, plus Boston butts, ribs, T-bones, sirloins, and more. And check out their big bundles at the Steak Place, Ora's Supermarket in Broad River, Hams, 1026 East Marion Street in Shelby, online at orasupermarket.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and the Boss.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
Epic.
What do you talk
That'd be like a crime.
Well, Tom, welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk, brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air.
Yes.
Excuse me, 704-487-7877. We're going to go a little overtime today. We got really into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. I want to mention one thing.
Go
Big
ahead.
Ten don't have anybody
Oh,
left. Okay. Go ahead.
After a while, it just gets a little hackney.
Not yet.
Just for you, Tom.
He's only said it 9 times, not 10, though.
For me, it's not about Tom. For me, it's about these NCAA committees that do this. It's the same thing they do in football. Is that this conference is better than this one? We'll take it.
It's just
and then it's just not. It's just basically what they're saying is our opinions are way better than yours.
Yeah.
Our farts smell better than yours, Terry, is what these committees are telling you. Just
Guess
write
what?
that down, Tom, on your board.
Mine's potpourri style, so it's all right.
Well, in the East, speaking of potpourri, my dog is ready to go outside. Miami's in first, but only a half-game lead over Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and Terry just said the Celtics might end up in first
I'm
place right
telling you,
now.
they're right
What
there
in the
now.
world has happened in the last few games here in the East? I guess are they all playing each other and just kind of rounding it out, or what's going on here? Celtics 9-1
I think
last 10.
Celtics coach finally got his feet under him.
Finally.
What's
I
the
think
name
he
again,
finally
Terry? I can't remember.
He finally listened to Marcus Smart. This is how we should play, and then the rest of the players agreed and went with him. You got to have a leader on every team that you have.
Well, speaking of that, did you see the fight in the Miami Heat fight?
Between
Amongst
themselves?
Amongst themselves, you see that?
Yes.
So Jimmy Butler wasn't doing something on defense, and something. Spoelstra called him out or something on the bench, and Jimmy said something back to Spoelstra. Spoelstra's immediate response was, "What? Do you want to fight me right here?" And Jimmy said something else back to him, and then Udonis Haslem come in and said, "I'll beat your F and A," and they started going at each other. Spoelstra threw a clipboard, and then they come back and won, Terry. So they fired him up, but just a lot of people talk about just online about how crazy Jimmy Butler is and how shaky this team is. Do you want a team acting like that? And Terry, you know who they might be they could draw Brooklyn in the first round, and I don't know if. Honestly, I think I told you guys a couple weeks ago, once I saw Brooklyn's going to be in that 7 spot, these top teams are going to kind of jockey around, and they don't want to be in that 2 spot. Nobody wants Brooklyn. Would you want to play Toronto, Brooklyn, or Charlotte in the first round? Anybody but Brooklyn. So they're I think they're jockeying around for that. Terry, you guys are 1 game out. Chicago 4.5. They've dropped off 3-7 in their last 10. Here's a stat for you on Chicago. They're 0. Let me make sure it's 13 or 16. 0-16. 0-16. So 16 of their 31 losses are against the top 3 seeds in each conference.
Who is that now?
The Chicago Bulls. Do not pick the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, doesn't bode
to
well.
make the NBA Finals. They may be a first round out against one of the. They're in the 5 seed now, so they're going to be playing Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, or Miami. They're in the first round. Cleveland looking at one of those teams as well. Toronto as well. We just don't know those 4 teams with 1 game from each other. Could be anybody. Charlotte 9 games out. They're going to make the play-in. They're only half a game behind Brooklyn for that 8th. If they could get that secures. You got to get beat twice to get knocked out instead of once. They'd really like that. I don't know if they can get there or not. Got a tough little schedule coming up. They got, I think, Denver on Monday night at home. That's gonna be a tough matchup for the centers. Usually destroy us. So I would imagine Jokic might have a quintuple double. I can't say, that's hard to say. Quintuple double on Monday. Let's do the sixth one. What's the sixth one? Suns are in first place and have pretty much clinched the 1 seed. They have they're up 9 with 8 games to go on the 2 seed. Memphis 2, Golden State 3, Utah 4, Dallas 5, Denver 6, Minnesota and LA in the first play in, New Orleans and the Lakers in the second. Lakers hanging there like a hair on a biscuit. Terry, 2 games up on the Spurs.
Yeah, but
with
2
9
games
to go.
9 to go, and then the next one's like 4 back. So the Lakers will hold on and be a number 10 seed.
Let's look at their who they finished with, and we'll see if they will. At New Orleans, at Dallas, at Utah versus New Orleans, Denver, Phoenix, Golden State,
all in a row.
Oh, and then
Oklahoma
you got Denver
City
at the end.
And the
They
end
might
in Denver.
They might win one of those. Oklahoma City.
So I'm guessing at least 4 of those are lost. I mean, if they go 500,
three wins.
they basically got to go 500 and hope the other team don't, right, Terry?
What
I'm looking at New Orleans
Antonio's?
a W, Dallas a W, Utah a L,
Dallas
New
a W?
Orleans a W, Denver a L, Phoenix a L, Golden State a L, Oklahoma. So they're gonna finish 4 and 5.
Yeah, those are
at 5 and 4,
Dallas,
somewhere in there.
All right, Sunday. All right, let's talk a little racing. This past week, I of course didn't get to it, and I'm gonna get on it. Jimmy Johnson this week raced in his first oval race that he's in IndyCar. Johnson led the field with cars passed on track with 21. 17 for position. I guess that those are lapped cars. Those other 4. 7 of those passes were in the top 10. 2 passes inside the top 5. I watched the race, every bit of it. He's won at Texas a ton. What he was doing that the other IndyCar drivers were not doing, Terry, was taking the high line. And if you now Terry, at Texas they'll ride the fence in NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
Did you see any of that race where they were riding?
I did not watch it. I saw your Texas coming through about him. But, I'm glad Jimmy Johnson, because on all the other tracks they've been on, he struggled, but he did perform on this one.
It's entirely different, probably, to talk yourself. And all right, so Terry, for those, what he has said, the hardest thing in those races is in NASCAR, you brake in the corners. Mm-hmm. In IndyCar, you brake before, and then you accelerate right before, because the faster you go in the car, he says, the better it turns. So you don't want to brake and turn on the wheels in IndyCar. But in NASCAR, you will, is what he said. So he got into the top 5. He got passed on the last lap or 2. I think it was 2 laps or 1 or 2 laps left by his teammate, because they had to go into a fuel-saving mode the last 2 laps, because the engineer didn't know, or whoever the chief engineer is there, didn't know that if they could make it or not. Him and about half the field went into the same kind of mode. They basically dropped 5 miles per hour, and then he ended up getting passed there with 1 lap to go by his teammate, which he already passed. Terry, have you heard this name, Scott Dixon?
Yeah.
Oh. So you passed an IndyCar champion, Scott Dixon, and teammate on the track. Now, and again, what he was doing, and the announcers were loving it. I mean, the announcers were losing their minds, because in Indy, they all are trying to pass on the straightaways or but when they go in the corners, they ride the line. So there's almost no passing along those corners. And Jimmy went in there, Terry, and you can see the black line and the white line. He was as close to that black line as you could get without going, but he went the high line. He passed 2 cars in the corner on the outside. And those announcers, I mean, they lost their minds seeing that. It was like something they've never seen before. And I think that's awesome that he brought a little bit of that and showed them exactly some of that passing on the outside, that you could do that. Like, none of the other guys were doing it, and he did, and and it was a big news for them is how they were reacting to it. NASCAR this weekend. Let's go over to there. Pull up the schedule. Big weekend this week. They are at one of Terry's favorite courses, COTA. It's a road course. Terry, you excited? Who's gonna win? Chase Elliott by 3 laps.
Yeah, Chase Elliott. That's all I gotta say.
I'd have to say Chase Elliott too.
Tyler Reddick be up there at the front.
Yeah. All right. On the schedule this week, we've got this afternoon. XPEL 255 Truck Series begins at 12:30. The Pit Boss Xfinity Series 250 will be at 4 o'clock on WCSL. And then tonight, NCAA basketball action on KTC Broadcasting will have Houston and Villanova at 6. And the Duke Blue Devils and the Arkansas Razorbacks will be at 8:45. Tomorrow, Casey Kasem's Top 40 at 12 o'clock. Elite 8 basketball game 3. That'll be the Tar Heels at 2 and St. Peter's. And then 2:30, we'll have the Echo Park Automotive race from COTA. NASCAR Cup Series racing on WCSL, PRN, MRN. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll have the second game tomorrow. Who was that again? Houston and Villanova? Or no, who's the other one I missed? Miami and Kansas will be at 5 o'clock tomorrow. So any other guys' news, thoughts?
Just want to thank one more time Shelby Heating and Air. Call them 704-487-7877 for all your heating and air needs.
All right, Ty, one little thing for Terry, that's what I want to show, because just to give him an idea of how little there is passing in the corners in Texas. You see how it's dark up in here? They didn't go in there at all. This was the lane. So you see Jimmy riding that black line right there. That's him passing one of the guys, and that's as wide as the lane as you got. And they're going 220 miles per hour there. And you can see the line when he's going. The dark spot, they did not touch the dark spots. So look at Jimmy. He passed 2 in this one coming across, and the announcers I thought their heads were going to explode when he did that. That move right there, when he put those 2 wheels in the black and went through right there, they thought it was about the greatest thing they've ever seen. But they're even talking, Tom, the next oval race that they're going to do is the Indy 500. And the IndyCar guys, we're talking that he does have a chance to win it based on his experience and oval driving skills. That again, the street racing is totally different as far as the braking and stuff. And once they got on the oval, after the race, he said he got in a groove, Terry, and he was gone. That was his exact words. He said, once I got in the groove and figured out the lane, I was gone. And he did. So exciting for that. I can't wait for the Indy 500. I'll watch that. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Saturday morning sports talk, KTCBroadcasting.com.
All right. I am the incredible man. I only do things incredible can.